The intro itself will be updated once the full body arts are ready. Bryn was kind of doing speed running to get all of the facial shots ready so we could put on most of the stream assets. So we don't quite have there will be a full bodied character for each of them. Those just aren't quite
I have legs.
prepared yet.
Super exciting.
You will in fact have legs, probably. Yes. You might just have a dress, but it might be legs. We'll see where it goes.
Right before that, didn't you just say that we're pretty sure we changed everything and then immediately found something
Yeah, with
we
like the
hadn't changed?
headshots. I mean, we don't have the bodies. We only have the headshots.
I mean, if Trishik knows anything about anything, it should be headshots.
That's all she
Typically, he goes for like the heart, the jugular, like
Ankles.
ankles.
Before-
Like, skulls are hard to get through.
We get into today's adventures, as always. Thank you to Paizo for sponsoring our show here on their own channel, on their network, and providing the adventure and a lot of other cool stuff like this giant bag of bestiary tokens, which has come in incredibly handy, seeing as it is
This lovely
tailored
example of a level 3
specifically.
fighter.
I'm gonna remember that. You can be funny, no? Yeah, okay, funny man.
Watch a level 3 fighter and just tell us
But-
your butt.
Gotta find it
Sirenscape,
first.
the soundboard that we use for a lot of our immersion on the audio side here. It is always continually impressive how many things they have when I'm putting together the custom soundboards that we use for the various adventures in this campaign, and how nice it is to have, like how much it really just adds to the experience to have that ambience. And our newest partner, Norse Foundry. I don't know where my logo is right here. I don't know where here's my little hexagonal logo, Norse Foundry thingy, for the veritable mountain of fantastic metal dice. We have a discount code 2 Perception. You think it's 10% off of literally everything on their entire website, including
awesome.
like the gemstone and the bone and the glass dice.
Get your very own Malachite D20 today.
Not a lot
sold
of
out.
companies will give you the discount on the top end stuff. It's usually only for the resin or sometimes the planar metal ones, but it's absolutely everything. Dice trays and accessories too. It's a pretty fantastic deal, all things considered.
These dice trays, well, improvised dice trays, the lids to the
We just
dice
needed
trays.
really big ones.
Yeah.
So, that's the great part of it, though. Is like if you get a dice tray, it's literally 2 dice trays. You have the dice tray, and the lid is also perfectly suited to be another dice tray.
That's very
If you just
soft.
want a big, it's also felt lined and
Oh my
I think
gosh,
that
I
was the
just totally
design.
came to that conclusion. You're right.
What?
The felt thing. Yeah, you can make another dice tray out of a lid.
That's literally what that is.
This is the lid.
I had no idea.
You've
I
been
thought it
using
was.
the lid the whole time.
I thought it was the actual dice
Reveal
tray.
machinations.
It's probably
Was the
just
lid
good
the
design.
No,
entire
yeah,
time?
these dice trays, I'm gonna put them up on the stream for a sec. These dice trays that we've had on here are the lids because I wanted as much rolling space as possible to put on the camera. Those
Are you kidding me right now? Like
Yeah, we're not even,
my
like-
mind is blown.
we actually aren't even using the dice trays. I don't know.
I
This
have
isn't
one.
even the dice tray's final form.
Mataz is using one.
Oh yeah, we have one over here. If you want to like pass it over just to put it on camera, it's like because the dice
I-
trays have space for storage
AKA
and everything.
Mataz's nest.
They even hold a rat.
They can hold an entire rat.
A
But yeah, I
whole
wanted
rat.
I wanted the full open rolling space with the dice cam. Like we're obviously sort of an edge case in our use here. So we've just been using the lids the entire time. So you get you get 2 dice trays with the purchase of a dice tray. One of them is just the toppy part. Anyway,
I mean, I don't even know what to do now. Like, my entire world is different
yeah,
than
your
it
whole
was
world
2 minutes
has just
ago.
been destroyed.
What is
realizing
even
that
real?
We're actually just using the lids.
I'm gonna be
And
alright.
also the lids have the Norse Foundry logo, so it worked better for what it is.
Okay, I
'Cause
feel
there's
better.
just like cool icon. There's a billion different cool icons you can get in the actual dice tray, but the lid just says Norse Foundry, which is kind of what I want to put on the camera. That's where they're from. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, in the era before Gen Con, and by the way, I believe we have reached the end of the convention season, which means I'm not aware of any mandatory missed Saturdays that we have in the coming future, because I think Gen Con is the last of the big tabletop adventures that I'm aware of, unless there's another one.
Secret
We'll make a
convention.
new one just
I
for you.
really want to go shopping.
When we left off, we had made our way to Katapesh. We had come to the home of the Scarlet Triad, to the city that they may not have full control over, but their influence is staggeringly wide and somewhat terrifyingly strong. We're not simply going to be able to walk up to the Red Pyramid, kick the front door down, and go in sword swing. I mean, if we wanted to just, make a point martyring ourselves, we certainly could, but it would be unwise.
But I wanna.
Our
We have a perfectly good martyr right here asleep. We'll just let him turn and throw him at the Scarlet
leave
Triad.
the gnome orphan on their doorstep and
Yeah.
then turn into a Wendigo. I feel like you're missing several steps of the turning into a Wendigo process.
No, not really. He's
I
like
will-
right at the last
He's
one.
right at the last one.
I will
He
also
is-
include the gnome he needs.
a second random gnome tied up next to him.
We're in Katapesh.
So you
There's
could
plenty
just
of them.
transform, right? That's true. There's plenty of everything in Katapesh.
Call it the
But-
Wendigo bomb.
No, the less stupid plan that we have
That is a perfectly valid
Just
plan. Thank
slightly
you.
less
been
stupid.
directed to, perhaps would be a good way to phrase it, by our new, I think we could say ally, seemingly Zader.
She gave us a house.
And
I
ice
mean,
cream.
how she's
We don't know much about her
Assisting you.
history, but
don't know a whole lot about what she does in Katapesh, but she seems to be helpful enough for now, and she is the one who gave us the great lead on the Jewelers Guildmaster we'll get to in a moment. She has proposed that if we can remove the city's support, the Packmaster's protection from the Scarlet Triad by turning many of the city's other guilds against them,
I have to do it now. There's a
Then-
point on the line. What?
then we can possibly just knock the Red Pyramid over. We just didn't know we're not going to have to fight the entire city when we do it. So that brings us here. As we come back in, we have started canvassing the city, learning what we can, building ourselves some inns, some connections for use. We have learned that the guildmaster of the Jewelers Guild here in Katapesh is actually being used as a tool of the Triad for some of their schemes, or perhaps simply a punishment for the guild themselves. And it seems that Milk here is set to be auctioned off as a slave this coming moon day. As we start off, it is the morning of Fire Day, 3rd of Erastus. The Age of Ashes adventure has gone on for, I think, 6-7 months in game. It has been quite some time. We have not quite wrapped a full year yet, but we're getting there. Meaning we have the weekend to figure out how exactly we can get into this auction and get Guildmaster Milk out.
Typically, the front door works pretty well.
Putting in the door when you got me.
I would just like to say that
I think Buddy beat you to the door hole
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You just got that one.
he got that one.
But I'm bigger. And better.
You are bigger. You can open a bigger door. But that was like literally session 1.
Yeah,
Buddy
fair,
ran through a wall
fair.
and made a doorway. So,
The hat outline and everything.
It has been a minute since Resume has actually had a real city to go shopping in for actual things that might be of any use to us. We've literally been in like the jungle, the slave city, the fishing village.
how is Kintargo the slave city and not Katapesh?
That's a good point.
He's got a point.
It was the one where we didn't know what was actually going on, and the slavers were actually chasing us around instead of us chasing them around.
No, we hunted them down and like killed them once we found them, like nest
Yeah.
by nest by nest. And you went shopping in Katapesh. You had a wardrobe full of nice clothes that you got from
That
Katapesh.
was then.
From Kintargo.
Kintargo.
That's like over a month ago.
I was about to say Kintargo.
But that was like for clothing. Now I actually want to go buy like useful things.
Well,
Wow, hey,
Kintargo
resume's
is
growing.
perhaps the second greatest metropolis, at least in Avestan and the Inner Sea regions.
I mean,
You said that all things can be found within its streets.
All right. So we have to make a list because we have to organize the way we're going to do it so that we can spend our money wisely. So let me think. I know that there's some things I need alchemical wise. I know there's a couple of baubles I'm looking for. I also figure since we're going after the Jewelers Guild guy, we should actually look in on some of the people who might work for him in some of his shops. It might be a good idea to just kind of canvas feeling a little bit and do it
you
really
might-
subtly.
You might get a better deal on what you're looking to shop for after you rescue the guildmaster.
I mean,
The point isn't to shop. Oh,
See?
you're right.
Don't try to pull one over on me. We've been together for too long.
I mean, you're right, but I mean,
3 months now.
Yeah.
That's a long
Long enough to
time.
lower.
It's probably been 4.
I mean,
'Cause I think
five-
it's been about 2 months per book. Is when
I mean, in all fairness, it's like 5 minutes. Is long enough to know how in reality.
so
There are not many secrets with this one.
you don't know that. I could be secretive.
Exactly know that. You're very bad at it.
Oh, you're right. So, let's see. Roshin, I don't need to get you clothes, but I do want to get you something. You haven't had a new, thing to stab people. I mean, you have lots of things to stab people with, but you don't have anything to stick in them.
I'm sorry, I think we've lost sight of what we're actually going to be searching for here.
See, you have a new sword, but
It's
we
not
don't...
a new sword. It's my old sword. I've been using the same sword for the entire time.
Wrong, Flick.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah, I was about to say
You
you
get
didn't
the
use
brief
Flick for a
fling.
while.
The Flick.
That's true. That's true.
So...
It was a one-night thing. I promise. I'll never. You were my first one.
You never forget your first, as he kisses Big Red.
So, is there anything, you need for it?
Well, given how we're actually getting ready to go and crash an auction, attended by fiends coming from outer planes and whatnot,
Oh, I
it
hadn't
might
thought
be
about
good if we
that.
could go ahead and actually gear up preparations along those lines. Certainly, already it's charged with the holy light of Milani, or whichever god actually managed to bless that rune before Sal
Milani.
Tard went and gave it to us.
You mean your mom?
Which one?
What?
Well, both of them.
I no longer know what any of you are speaking about. But what I'm saying is, if we can actually go and prepare ourselves better about that, there's actually a spell called, it generates the searing light of the gods. I think it actually is typically called searing light. If you could go ahead and find some of that, if we could find some way to go ahead and bring that to bear, then that would actually give us a nice edge. And it should be fairly inexpensive.
Okay. I could see...
Whoever demands.
Well, speaking about the gods, I feel a little inspired.
And as you're, I imagine, doing your morning preparations here in the dining room in the manner that Zater has provided for you, she is also just kind of hanging around, just sort of the periphery here. A cup of coffee held between her hands, and those red spectacles always atop her face there.
She really sees us through, rose-tinted goggles, doesn't she?
Regardless of what you think of
I've
any
never
of
wanted
the
to murder
gods'
my boss so
hands
bad in my
in
life.
this, I think many of the ideas you have here are wise. You have some days to prepare. And arming yourselves, finding perhaps a valid way in,
That
Perhaps.
will be my duty.
any kind of groundwork you could lay for this escape here. These are all wise. 3 days may seem like much now, but they will pass quickly.
How do you keep your hair out of your coffee?
I have long since given up on that.
The
And,
one
it's
snake's coming
so
up.
literally, as you're watching, this one dingus here will literally lick it occasionally, and she just doesn't know.
No wonder, he's caffeinated. That's why he's always so excited.
Is it just me? Are you using him to stir your coffee for you?
He does it on his own.
Just dips his head in there and starts.
He'll
yes, coffee.
So,
he'll grow bold, touch his nose to it, realize it's heat, jerk back, and do it again in 10.
oh, that's Marshall. What?
No, it's not. I've gotten better at it.
I thought
As
it
a-
doesn't really bother him.
No, I meant pretty much everything he does.
What's the name of the stonemasons guildmaster in Kavlar?
Oh, he's unimportant.
Oh no, he's unimportant, but
Mr. Under house arrest.
Rad's very vindicated. We know his name. I know his face. I cast Nightmare on him right now.
Hey,
You're such a jerk.
buddy.
I haven't had
Not hard
time.
Oldervin, I believe his
point.
name was.
Yeah.
Wait.
cast-
What
Screw that guy.
what time is it in Kevlar?
Nobody who could know.
Roll a d20. See
Well,
if you're lucky.
Isn't it like Mountain?
no, it'll
like
stick
Skull
around.
Mountain?
Go off the
It
next
sticks
time you
around until it
sleep.
goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's asleep right now, he's just like, oh.
What would you do if you had access to Pathfinder magic? Oh, I just cast Nightmare on someone I didn't like every day.
If I had
You
access
wronged
to
us. You betrayed
Pathfinder
us.
magic, control weather.
You mean personal rain cloud? The thing I can't have?
You can get it.
I don't want to go to work today. Now there's a hurricane.
You would.
$3 billion in property damage, so that
But
you
he
can
doesn't have
a
to go
day
to
off.
work.
That sounds like
Come
something
on.
that sounds like something an adventurer would do.
Like this. Did you not hear the pros?
A blizzard in Florida.
All right.
Yeah, you're not going to work. I mean, that's definitely happening.
So there's also Resme is looking for some specific alchemical reagents. She has been looking through some of the books that Trishik and her got of different alchemical formulas, and she thinks she's got a really good idea of something that might specifically help Raz or her if we get into some really big trouble and we need an out really quickly.
It's a mutagen of 18 con.
No.
Try 14.
No, the mutagen gives you 18.
Yeah, it gives me 14.
Oh yeah, because your cons always halved.
So,
It's actually called it will hopefully allow them to step out of time for a minute.
That's a really long name for a potion.
You're an idiot. And that's why I don't take you shopping with me.
You're the one who said
Well-
it's called and then said a long sentence.
Well, she's gonna create.
okay, kids.
Well, anyway, Marshall actually might need a few things. He's not sure the name of everything that he needs, but he has an idea of what he's looking for.
Okay.
He really likes his Raid of the Ram, but he wants something better than that. And he needs something else that might make, well, being a dwarf and all, I'm not very fast, so I need something that can make me faster,
That is a recurring problem in your life, yes. The
unfortunately.
fact you are very slow.
And I also heard of I back in the day when I was in the dwarven military, I had a buddy in my platoon that had this ring that let him literally disappear in the earth and then somehow be somewhere else. And I want one of those. I don't know what it's called, but I want it.
I don't know what it is, but I want one.
But I figured
We're in
since
Katapesh, I think we can do it.
I mean, considering that we might have to have a backup plan, I'm like, well, I'm kind of big and it's kind of hard for me to escape places. So as long as we're on stone ground, then, you know, maybe that might work.
So, what you're saying is, since we're in Katapesh and we could literally get anything here, let's just make up some fantasy thing we're not even sure exists and go looking for
I've
it.
seen it.
I've seen it. I told you, my buddy in the platoon had one. I just don't
All right,
remember what it's called.
Raz, what do you want?
I'm
You know
gonna
you
go
wa-
play at a birthday party.
But don't you want like don't you want like something?
Going to his Sultan's
A pat on the
daughter's
back.
quinceanera.
A pat on the back. Good luck. Break a leg.
Oh, I'll get you something. I don't know what it's gonna be yet.
Oh,
but it's gonna be embarrassing.
I had an idea. If they're auctioning her off at a party or the guildmaster at a party, I can get myself in very easily.
The Sultan's daughter?
No, the
Oh, the
slave,
guildmaster.
the slave guildmaster, not auctioning the sultan. Well,
I heard that she's going to be kidnapped in the next 3 days.
married off.
Married off in the next 3 days. It's like legal kidnapping.
If I can somehow get on the Scarlet Triad's eyes as a performer, I could probably get myself in.
That's not
That's
a bad
one
idea.
person in easy.
That's
Or
Okay.
maybe I can get someone else in to help carry, I don't know, stuff.
I can likely just walk in the front gate.
You can walk anywhere you want.
We'll do some thinking about that, but that's a really good idea.
For now, party. He just walks off. He starts wandering off.
So let's see. Something for fiends that's easy to carry around because you don't have any hands, so scrolls are not gonna work.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I usually have things in them though.
Yeah, you usually, but you fight with a shield and a sword, so I think we're gonna have to find a rune.
Is that possible?
I don't.
I mean,
I mean,
Maybe.
so
Well, look,
we
take the sword with you when
no,
you
no,
go.
no. What I'm saying is we have the ancestor rune, right? So we know that sort of stuff is possible. I mean, I have no idea if we can find it here, and I'm pretty sure I read something about it in Master's Mimicry and
I told you to stop making up words.
no, it's a book.
Uh-huh.
Mash is just clearly a made-up word.
this is why I avoid
Masters
books.
mimic this bunch
If
of
you need
gobbledygook.
to get your hands on the
We really gotta help her if she
specific
knows to
item,
read.
is probably something I could find.
Well, let's try it the normal way first, because honestly, I've always wanted to walk into like a pawn shop or like a jewelry place and like ask to see the stuff in back. Because like that stuff's gonna be in back. I mean, don't you think that's the kind of stuff they would keep in the back?
We're gonna somehow end up at the Pesh Guild.
She's going to find the League of Peshmongers.
Gonna find
But
the
I mean, I'm
poisoners.
gonna have Marshall with me. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, I gotta babysit somebody, right?
Yeah, the League of Peshmongers is not. Yeah, the Poison Makers Guild, I guess, is the secret one. The League of Peshmongers has been incredibly open. Pesh is literally named after this city, so it's not. It's not illegal or anything. You just
Does it
go to the
involve-
Pesh market
I'll
and
try
get a
not
whole
to
bunch
be-
of trucks.
I'll try not.
I just realized the city is basically called Smacktown.
Cocaineville.
No, it's Crackville.
Crackville.
I mean,
No, it's the other way
order
around.
is backwards. Yeah, like you're not wrong, but it happened the other way around. It's like it was already called Smacktown, and they just started producing a drug, so they called it
Oh, this
Smack.
place
No!
is great.
It's
Let's
Katapesh.
name it after it.
Katapesh.
It's Katapesh.
Like, imagine if Gainesville had its own designer drug just called Gaines.
I think that's a laundry detergent.
It is
We're getting
almost
off.
Gaines, not Gain.
Isn't that a gym?
What? Gain?
Gains.
With a Z.
Gains, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, get
It
gains.
might be.
I guess
Get
what?
some gains,
Get some
bro.
gains, bro.
Literally never heard of that.
Just
imagine,
wait till
like,
we
someone
get
like-
our gains on
Just
you.
imagine
The
a
point
Kyle
is, I
with a lot of
believe we
muscles.
have passed the line of productivity
We
here.
have, yes.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are
We're really
we
good at
doing
that.
with this fire day? Rez, I think you are fully aware of what you're after. You are going to go perform at a Sultana's birthday party.
Bar mitzvah.
It's a bat mitzvah. It's a girl. Rasheen,
So,
Because it's for a girl.
I'm Roisin, I'm just going to continue my quest of prayer and possibly flogging myself to go learn remove curse so that I can try to make our gnome that is a Wendigo bomb not a Wendigo bomb.
a little bit of.
Oh, you're trying
I'd
to
like to defuse the Wendigo bomb.
I'd like to defuse the Wendigo
Ideally,
bomb.
fair enough.
I was gonna say he's trying to defuse the
Resume
situation.
is going shopping, and you have a grandiose shopping list, I'm sure, of things that
I
you would
do.
like to collect throughout the city of Katapesh.
And only
today, you're gonna
some of them are gonna be easy to find.
yes, some of them are not, but that's a problem for future Resume. Trishik, what are you doing?
There's a building that we're gonna have to do stuff and things on, and I would like to investigate it.
That is perhaps a wise idea, Marshall.
Well, I mean, I might as well, keep the young lass out of trouble, for lack of a better term, while we go shopping. And besides, she has a better idea of what I'm looking for than I do.
Yeah,
Markets of
please, no.
Katapesh are.
You're coming with me.
That's what I mean. I'm going with her regardless.
The markets of Katapesh are convoluted, very aggressive, and easy to find yourself in a bad way. It's probably not a bad idea to bring the dwarf with an axe that's bigger than he is along with you.
I mean,
We're about the same size.
it's always the option that I cast spell immunity fireball on myself and then just start casting it at my feet.
Fireball, fireball, fireball.
It would
That's a
discourage
lateral
people.
fire.
I think it's a war
I'm
crime.
good aligned. There's no Geneva Conventions here. So, Rez, as you head out, you
Meet the
make
Poisoner's
your
Guild.
way.
Good luck.
You make your way to this birthday party for Sultan's daughter that you have organized after you made an incredible impression the other day with your performances throughout some of the higher range taverns of the city. With your pre-made connections, you are going to get a +1 to your, I assume, performance check is what you are going to be doing here. As you attempt to sort of ingratiate yourself and find a way to try to loop this back to either the Triad or to this auction. Make me a performance check, good sir.
Performance check. Raz still hasn't had his coffee yet.
Value.
He had to. I had one hiding.
Isn't
Okay,
there
no, it's- can
specific
always
desert
use
coffee?
Coins.
You're right. I haven't had that in a while. I'm drinking the coffee, coughing a little bit. It's coffee.
You tried.
I
Hopefully your
tried.
performance roll is better than your jokes.
I mean, I would say
38. 38.
38. I mean, it's a good thing that you're really good at performance.
Yeah.
You have a modifier to carry you, Mr. Bardman. So with what you are going through here, what you managed to kind of extend this. Obviously, the children of the birthday party are more than enthused, and even those approaching adulthood, probably not old enough to really appreciate just how good at your job you are. But there are many other well-connected parents in attendance here as well. Those who both can appreciate the fine qualities of your rat performance, and those who perhaps have
Hungry cats?
some other useful connections. Throughout your day in Katapesh, starting at this birthday party and moving your way through a series of recommendations and affiliations, you find exactly what it is that you are looking for. Well, in a way. You find a meeting with a woman who is responsible for organizing the evening's entertainment here. She has been commissioned by Jellic, the liaison of the Scarlet Triad, to make sure that everything is to a certain standard. And to be quite frank, Rez, your performances are very much impressive. Do you possess no titles? Is Rez simply...
It's just Rez.
Fair enough. Yes, I believe that you could be a fine enough fit for this opportunity. Now, you understand that connections and reputation are as valuable as perhaps gold itself within these streets. And the opportunity to perform, to even be invited at that end for somebody of your standing, is something that many would kill for.
We're gonna
We
pay
are
you an
willing-
exposure.
We are willing to extend an invitation to this coming Moon Days Gala, but we are going to need a fee on your end. Just assurances that, at the very least, your background or your talents can provide in some way. 250 gold pieces.
Man, Raz got choosing beggared.
Okay. I think I can manage that. I, of course, don't keep that much gold on me, naturally. That's a lot of gold for little old me to carry around.
For somebody like you, I would believe as much.
Yes. So, I can bring the gold.
All right. Well, if that is all agreeable, then if you can find your way back here by sundown with the payments, then I believe you will find this evening to be very profitable for you in other ways, fine Raz. As well as your performances up to the standards of our guests. Our clientele can be quite particular, and they are very well traveled.
Well, I'm very well traveled as well. I have tales from all over the industry regions.
And we will await your return. And if you are willing to bring 250 gold, you have yourself an inn to the Gala.
Pat her away.
Do you have your own money, or is this...
I took it out of the common stash.
I have to go ask Mommy Roshi. Mommy, I want to go to a party.
So,
You've got to be back
is this a
before
paying
12.
gig? No.
Exposure.
Or you'll turn
There
into
will be
a
a transaction.
Yeah, money will exchange hands.
That's not our money. It's Triad's money.
Yeah, but you understand, of course, the value of a simple invitation to a gala as high class as this for a simple street rat. Roshin, spending the day, we'll go stick with the self-flagellating thing, trying to commune, master this new magic, attune yourself to another aspect of Milani's grace. Progress is made. Resume, you will be able to find the majority of your shopping list that you set out. Two things would prove somewhat elusive. You're able to verify, of course, with a marshal with you and with your own arcane skills, that certainly this ring he speaks of is something that exists. But it is somewhat of a rare commodity. It's not a standard creation, and in fact, the magics contained within it are actually more alchemical in nature than physical, and it's not traditional alchemy that sources it. This is actually a creation of a very competent band of trogs from the Starstone Isles. These trogs have created a great many things, but not a huge quantity of them. And sourcing one of these things is going to kind of be a day project unto itself.
So, I mean, our host is an alchemist in the city. I'm sure she knows some people who I could get their attention through her and let it be known that I am looking for this item and am willing to pay
Certainly
good
can't
gold
hurt.
for it.
Additionally, a manner of improving Roshin's blade seems similarly difficult. Now, this Searing Light spell is incredibly common. Scrolls of this are no difficulty to acquire whatsoever in the markets of Katapesh. But there is something you could possibly combine these two things, actually. There is a rune that you can imbue with this divine magic directly. But it is similarly difficult to acquire. It takes an incredible amount of precision to produce, and is difficult to store and just as in an inventory. Not only is there not a huge market for it, is the fact that it has to be applied to a weapon limits its usefulness a great deal, rather than just having a rune that you could use to hold magic, and that's just a really expensive scroll for most folk.
Well, are there any more militant religious groups around here?
Katapesh? Are there any that aren't?
What I'm saying is if I was going to look for something that was designed to strike down fiends, I would want to go to people who would have reason to strike down fiends.
The Katapeshi people, and many of those of this region, there are plenty who worship.
Sobek.
Those gonna go with the Dawn Flower?
But Sobek, the god of war.
I was gonna go with the Dawn Flower.
Is that like the boat that brought people to America?
No, it is, it's certainly, I mean, you would be familiar with Sarenrae, but from the northern side of the Inner Seas, your knowledge of Sarenrae would be the goddess of the sun and daylight and healing. But there is definitely another facet, the worship of Sarenrae, that is dramatically more militant. That is the Flaming Scimitar, that is the Holy Crusade, that is the fires that burn the demons and the undead and the heretics that walk this world, and that is much more the side of the worship that you would find in Katapesh. Something like that may be attainable from them, but again, that also would be a day project unto itself. So both those two items, as they are uncommon, will take a downtime day and some skill each. So if you're going to seek those alone, you have 2 days left. If you succeed, you could find both of them.
So I think I'll start with
Well, this downtime day is getting all of the rest of the things
okay.
together.
Got it.
So you got all of that. Marshall, sticking along with you, is going to ensure that nothing goes terribly wrong. Yeah, chat's got to go. When Sarenrae is neutral good, not neutral nice.
you right.
It is a very militant god, honestly, and a large facet of Sarenrae's worship throughout Galarian is incredibly aggressive.
Purge it with fire.
Fun fact, to the point where up until very recently, throughout the entire nation of Taldor, worshipping Sarenrae has been outright banned. Like, Sarenite worship was legally punishable heresy throughout Taldor. Mostly due to the war with Kadira and them being very into the Flaming Scimitar side of Sarenrae, but it's an incredibly controversial religion in Galarian, actually. It's not all the happiness and the healing sun that you would believe from Isker.
Resume has no religious training. She knows that Sarenrae kind of heals people and is associated with the sun.
Especially if living up north, you would know of her as the god of healing.
Yeah,
the thing that like the god of doctors, and her churches are very bright and open with large windows, the windows on the east to let in the rising sun.
That would have been
Rur came from like
Rur was a Sarenite.
sect.
Rur was a Sarenite cleric.
He came from a sect of like, we're not those guys.
Yeah, you know that Sarenrae because you had Rur. I totally forgot about
That's
Rur.
totally true.
Wow. It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Also, Rur and her never really got into too much religious conversation.
But Trishik, as you go out to attempt to scout the manor home where this is taking place, already there was a decent contingent of guards that make it difficult to do much more than get close to the building. So you wait through a lot of the day, observing what you can, because even seeing their rotations, their patrols, perhaps lapses in that security, is very much knowledge unto itself. The estate at which the auction is being held is truly massive. Think like Palace of Birdsong from War for the Crown. It is surrounded by sweeping gardens with cultivated trees that have no business managing to be alive in the deserts of Katapesh. Arcing hedges and shrubberies, flowers of all kinds and bright colors. It's perched near the river that leads out from the main oasis at the heart of Katapesh itself. That forming as the southern boundary of the manor grounds itself, putting it somewhat near to the city walls, perched directly in front of one of the great towers that flank either side of this river, where it heads out through the walls out into greater Katapesh. And you can see clearly there are more Scarlet Triad agents mixed with Zephyr Guard upon the walls and in the tower itself, giving them a very commanding view of all the grounds. I'm going to assume you're going to go with stealth. Is the roll that you want to make?
Stealth was the intent, but I also had an idea to pilfer a key to a side gate or a side door or something like that.
Okay, you could, if you want to roll thievery for that, that's absolutely doable.
I think for today I'll go for information gathering.
Okay,
And
so
I'll
give
go
me-
for stealth.
Give me a stealth check then.
A 38.
With a 38, as the day passes on, later into the eve,
You know,
the rotations. Of
I
the-
have these for bad decisions. I'm not satisfied with an 8.
Roll a 1.
Nope.
47.
Money.
I rolled a
Critically-
17.
It critically succeeds. So as they rotate the guard near sundown here, with the changing light conditions as well as the confusion with new recruits coming and going, you're able to actually slip inside the estate itself. There isn't much of the area you can immediately get through without raising too much chance of suspicion, but you're able to get a general idea of a lot of the lay of the ground floor. The main doorways open up into a massive atrium with balconies actually ringed around it overhead, where the second floor hallway just opens to this grandiose area where they have set up a fairly large square stage in the center. The estate is divided into several wings off in different directions. You get a general sense of how they connect. I'm going to introduce a mechanic that is only going to be useful for the heist. You have one edge, and you can put that in the party thing. Imagine this is a more or less a hero point that anybody can use once, but will only be useful during this auction infiltration itself. This is the amount of knowledge, the mechanical quantification of the amount of knowledge that Trishik has gleaned from this infiltration.
Nice.
And there are no limit on these, so as many as you could acquire, in addition to the hero points that you guys have, could give you a pretty good amount of useful resources here. One added bonus for these. The edge points are not a fortune effect,
Oh.
Really?
which means
You can reroll
you
a
can
reroll.
use them to reroll a hero-pointed reroll or anything else that you have gotten from a previous fortune effect.
That's
Raz
hot.
isn't gonna die during the heist.
Don't say that.
You jinxed it,
It's
dude.
impossible. We have an edge now that lets us reroll a reroll. It's impossible.
Have you
will
ever
be
rolled a
fine.
1 into a 1 into a 1? Because I have.
That
Don't do that.
worth keeping in mind that should some combat be involved in this particular infiltration, you can use the edge points in combat as well. Anything involving this auction infiltration and bringing out the Master of the Jewelers Guild, valid target for edge points. So you regroup at the end of the day, having honestly learned a pretty decent amount of useful information, having gathered some knowledge, having made some connections. And I'm sure, after discussing everything you found, more than ready for an evening's rest.
Ice cream.
Dreaming potential.
Green potential. Well, as we're seen to continue to work, I'm going to keep this track here. So that was, by my count, the 5th day of your retraining, being the night being the 5th day.
So then a day and a night, and I'll have it then.
Yes, I have it
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
And I will ask our hostess very nicely if she would not mind helping me get in contact with some people who could help me maybe find that ring.
If you think this is something that will help you, I'd be glad to pull some strings.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave a dose of slumber wine beside the gnome, just in case the whatever Roshin is doing doesn't work.
In case he wakes up, maybe he'll drink it himself.
Well, we can give it. We can give it to him again before
I bet
he
you you're
wakes up.
thirsty.
Oh, all that bloodthirsty hunger has got to really dry the throat there. Like, oh, great wine. Oh. It does look like wine. Maybe you'll just drink it. So you rest that evening and awaken the following morning. Star day now, another day ahead of you. 2 days left before this auction. Rez, what do you want to do?
Oh,
And if anybody wants a reminder of like what the options are, because it presented you with a great list of things, honestly, and it was 2 weeks ago, seriously, feel free to ask. We set all the groundwork for this, and then we had a week off because of Gen Con, so do not be afraid to ask questions. Still Falcons.
Yeah, that mercenary group from Taldor that's really
Falcons.
anti-slavery that would probably totally get on our side if we talked to him about it.
From,
I'm gonna-
Yeah.
Not Taldor, it's Andrin.
Andrin, sorry.
All right.
take a moment. I want to discuss with the rest of the party, figure out what they're doing
Did I
before.
just give you the hero point?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, more ones for the Bard from Bar Save the Will. I read it, handed you the hero point, read it again, and my mind just blanked.
You can give me 5 more.
I don't even know if I have that many. You guys are getting stacked. Anyway.
Yeah, I want to take a moment to discuss with the rest of the group what we're planning to do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we...
Yep.
Well, I have already made it inside of the building. Today I plan on taking 5, maybe 6 sets of keys. Enough that we'll have all in a duplicate if we need it. It does not seem terribly closely guarded, at least not against me.
Well, I have an invitation to perform, so I'm in, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't take the money from me. That'd be embarrassing.
Get scammed. Welcome to Katapesh. Scammed immediately.
I'm very gullible. I guess I can go hit the high-end taverns again and
Are
try to
you
get more
sure?
information. Or what was the name of the anti-slaver group?
The
Steel
Steel
Falcons?
Falcons?
Silver Falcons or something like that.
But Squid, did you give him the hero point?
The Bellfighters.
I am pretty sure I did. Am I crazy?
I mean, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Jake Team Failure.
Thank you. I guess I can go talk to them or gather more information. Got some connections. I don't really know what to do. Very overwhelming here.
It would not be a bad idea for you to go talk to the Silver Falcons, those people.
The golden flamingos.
Yeah, the
Maybe,
purple lost.
maybe you shouldn't be going
The
talking
metal
to him then.
birds.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go with you.
Don't you have shopping to do?
I do.
Or perhaps if you need assistance with that, Raz could help you there.
Well, we need to spread out now. We
Well,
only have a
I
couple
don't need
days.
help shopping.
She really
But-
doesn't. And I really don't want to go shopping with her.
But
I've seen her shopping
already
trips.
kind of set the stage for what I was going to buy today. If you wanted to finish that up and I could go talk to the Steel Falcons, that might not be a bad idea.
And
you
Zader here with a small little dish of a mango flavor to this ice cream now, as you guys have desecrated the strawberry one within 3 days of being there. I doesn't blame you. It's delicious. I'm taking a small bite. Perhaps if this auction of theirs, if this gala is so high class, they certainly have things all organized properly. And Raz, you would have like documentation that it's not just like you have their word. You would have like documentation and a direct literal invitation you'd be presenting to someone. You have like instructions on how to get in. There may be no need to acquire more of these. With what we have, we could simply make some.
Just eyes to Shashik.
If any of you are particularly skilled in forgeries.
It is doable, but forgeries are not something I am practicing.
Besides that, if we have one access and you have seen their men at the scene, disguises could be equally valuable.
That, on the other hand, I can do.
I can disguise myself fairly well and perhaps one other person, but a lot of my disguise is magic and I wouldn't trust to that. through their
Magic could actually be
defenses.
quite useful for it. In fact, perhaps it doesn't even have to be that particularly comprehensive, just enough to get us inside. After all, once they start talking to us, we won't necessarily have the right thing to say anyway. Perhaps some fairly low-cost solutions could be found at market.
No, that's not the issue. I have the magic. The issue would be doing it physically would mean that you and Marshall would have to make things up on the fly, and that's just not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
And doing it magically, I worry that they have some more systemic override to what I have.
There will be surely many groups of patrons at this gala. It will not, I imagine, arouse any suspicion to move largely together. Getting in the door initially may prove a challenge, but
That's-
once inside, it
Yeah.
may be for the best.
So, Raz, if you want to finish up my purchase and do the talking, I'll walk you through what I've set up. I can go try to talk to the Steel Falcons if you want. I'm happy to do that.
Last time I interacted with merchants in Kavlar, it didn't end very well for me.
Would it be a downtime activity to go get a disguise kit?
You can just get a disguise kit? No. If you wanted to find like anything for specific disguise preparation for this, yes.
No,
but
just
like go get
A disguise kit so
yeah.
I can make disguises.
That's easy enough.
What would
'Cause
it?
You have to have a disguise
Yeah,
kit.
no, you can just grab one of those while you're out doing things.
What would it take to forge documents?
If you want to
Society.
forge some documents, that would directly be society. That is like a,
You know
a
what?
listed use of society.
You know what? Actually, I think. Used to kind of looking at the document. This is paper I can get at the market. I saw Stan selling this on my way over there. I can get some of this ink. I can probably forge this.
I can provide the ink and reasonable facsimile of their seal as well, if you can do the forging itself.
Well, it's been a while since I've forged any documents. Like 7, 8 years. But I can give it a try.
Well, let me go contact some of my sources for this rune. It was, or ring. Rather,
No, it's a
was
ring.
for the ring.
Yeah, the rune we're going to have to
And
go
then we'll
someplace else
gather
for.
some ingredients for this.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Like a puzzle.
So, Rez is going to be forging documentation. Rasheen is going to be training spell magic. So, are you going to contact the Steel Falcons or are you going shopping?
I guess I'm going to go try to contact the Steel Falcons.
Do you want me to come with you? Or do you want me to go do something else?
You can definitely lore military this one, so you can actually help out with this.
Yeah, that might actually be something that
By
you
lore
can help
warfare?
with.
Warfare, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Close
don't
enough.
really speak soldier that well, so if there might be aspects of this interaction which you're better suited for.
Okay.
But I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Rashik wants to go steal a bunch of keys.
I'm gonna spend my day sourcing entire sets of keys, one key at a time from individuals.
Fair enough. So, we'll go back. We'll just do it around this way then. You two first need to find and make contact with the Steel Falcons. And you know realistically you can't be super overt about this, as this is surely a group that the Triad is going to be aware of. So, whoever wants to take the lead here, you can use diplomacy or society or lore warfare, and you can assist each other with differing skills. You don't have to use the same one.
I'll assist you.
So give me the lore warfare first then. DC 20.
That's a
Are
31.
you trained? Are you
31.
trained, or what's your proficiency?
Oh, I'm sure.
You're trained.
I'm trained, yeah.
There's gonna be a +2 to you whatever check you make then.
Diplomacy.
All right.
Marshall walks out and goes,
I love how one of the listed things you can use. I just want to point this out. One of the listed skills you can use for this is Andoran lore. Like anyone on the planet is gonna have that. Like invested.
it's like
you do
hag-
not have Andoran lore.
Bardic lore.
Okay, shut up. Like you.
I mean, we had Haglor.
but fair. I forgot about Bardic lore. We did it. We hit Haglor. That's true. We hit Haglor.
That's
I mean,
it.
like I
So-
guess I shouldn't be so quick to dismiss.
My brother is actually a soldier in Andoran. I do know something about their culture.
Not the tree. Different person.
different brother. So I do at least know their symbolism and some of the words that might be associated with them. So in talking to people, I could look for certain symbols or drop certain comments or things that might get me the right attention, that might get me drawn to them. which is how I'm going to be using my diplomacy to do it, trying to slide the words in there very coyly.
Okay.
And I'm somewhat her resource and somewhat validating some of those terms. Somewhat.
And Resme has a
I
big
saw a
mouth.
small number. I saw you go immediately to the coins. 12 brothers, only girl. Yeah, that's
Yep,
just
that's-
Bryn's family. I mean, that's not out of the ordinary. Well, but backwards, though.
That's much better. We'll take that.
That one looks like it has 2 digits.
It does. That's going to be a 43.
43 will succeed.
Yay.
Whether or not you included the +2, that is a regular success. And you will meet with a dwarven man, surprisingly, named Gringor Ironguts. You meet him in a relatively clandestine public location, just outside of a simple, not even a restaurant, just a stall, serving a strange style of lunch wrap with lamb meat, and it's a gyro. I was gonna go through a bunch of flavor text to describe a gyro, but it's a freaking gyro. I'm so hungry.
I want extra sauce. I want extra sauce.
Now I want a euro. Thanks.
And as you introduce yourselves and kind of carefully get around your real point here, you end up finding him quite amenable to your suggestions. And in fact, he has some information of his own. I imagine that you found much the same as we have, then. We haven't provided much of a proper canvas in the location itself. Figured it was too dangerous to raise any sort of suspicion, not worth the risks. But we have guaranteed that all those up for auction that evening are being held off-site. It's not in the Red Pyramid either. It's a location we haven't yet discovered, and what with one day left of the event, doesn't seem much worth doing.
Well, we have a layout, some guards' keys, and an actual invitation to get one of us in. But we think it's best to get them on the way. That's where the prisoners are going to be the most vulnerable.
So you come to this. I wouldn't be so sure. Well, it's something this high profile. I'd strike it as phenomenally unlikely that the Triad are like to use anything short of teleportation to bring them on site.
You're right.
I don't imagine they'll be moving them through the streets in a covered wagon.
We'll have to just... Well, we have what we need to get into the building, we think, but...
They've reached the same conclusion we have. There ain't much to be done other than attempting to make some sort of operation on site day of. Here's what we've found. And he gives you a little bit more background information about the organization, the setup of some of this gala and the mechanics of the auction themselves. In fact, Iron Guts and this particular group of Steel Falcons, they have worked to undermine or to attempt to work against several of the Triad's the specific slave auctions in the past, both in and outside of Katapesh, to mixed success. So you learn that they are very likely to have many precautions in place against a wide variety of possible intrusion methods and infiltration techniques. And this information functionally is going to be another edge point for the group of you.
But they didn't plan for the lizard who slips out of your perception.
I mean, they probably not. It's difficult to really prepare for that. As we have
Outlier.
established that it is
Just a
mundane
liar.
stealth, so like
But-
you can
Self-
fairy fire you and you still
self-jorn.
can do it
But-
because it's not invisible.
Stealth
Beyond
Fjord was an
that-
outlier.
We also wanted to make it known to your group that our ambitions are beyond this. First of all, we are just as much against slavery as you are and think it is an abomination against all of the gods and all of the people on this earth.
Well,
Yeah.
consider us your allies. We'll aid you any way we can. And honestly, it seems you're perhaps well more structured and built for this. Maybe it's best that we provide assistance and let you handle the main operation then.
That's for certain. We have also had a lot of experience with Triad operations.
As of we. Hopefully, with what time we have left, our information can help each other.
Let's pray.
So, Trishik is going back to the facility to steal a bunch of keys.
I have 2 skill feats I have never gotten to use.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Pickpocket and subtle theft.
Okay, I was literally going to tell you that most, if not all, of the keys are going to be on the guard's person and in something that will definitely be considered closely guarded. So,
I don't take a penalty for closely guarded items unless I'm trying to steal in combat. And subtle theft lowers the perception DC of anybody observing me by 2.
That absolutely comes into play here. That 100% does.
Still
So
good.
I'm getting effectively a +7 to this.
That's pretty gusta. Well, it's plus the 5 and 2 to 2 different things.
Yes.
But it is.
5 me, 2 them.
Give me a thievery check, sir.
So I believe that my thievery is a 26. Yep.
Do
like
good.
It's like you were meant for this role.
That's a 19. So I'm gonna go with the 45. Woo! Hey, I do this.
So that's 3 edge points, you said? 3?
That'll be an edge point right there. Trajit comes back with a fairly impressive collection of small keys that mostly seem like they are probably 2 doors within the manor itself.
Some of them are probably the keys to these guys' houses and
Like,
other things that he just took by
Some
accident.
of them are very possibly useless. It's not like they are not labeled. Yeah, you probably have at least somebody's house keys in there. You got the keys to some dude's wagon.
I guess I own this now. This is my
The
house.
guy's never gonna open his lockbox again. Dude's gonna have a really hard time starting his steam-powered car later. Like,
Katapesh.
some of the guards' mechazords are gonna be. They can't turn it back on. They lost the ignition keys. But you have some keys. Some dude's bike is gonna be locked to a post for the next month. Like,
The most unfortunate
I mean, I
one.
would imagine if I'm spending all day, I can be like, he opened that. I want that.
you would
key."
definitely have several that you have scouted out that like are definitely useful. You would also have numerous. This might be good.
You got
Yes,
really
you-
excited.
Keeps it on a different keyring.
So, by your powers combined, you have contacted the Steel Falcons. You've accumulated 3 edge points now, as well as 1 good invitation to the place. And, Rez, we possibly have more than 1. I am going to need a society check for the big forging here.
Whoosh. I get a
Wait,
plus.
those are secret checks.
Does it matter if it doesn't?
Yeah, because you
Oh, it actually
you
does.
roll
Yeah,
it
it is secret.
when it becomes relevant.
That's the way we were doing it, right? So I don't have to roll it in the background. Okay, so yeah, with your edge points, you create some because you like it's not like you think you did bad. You have some forged documents, and when you attempt to use them, but via that edge point, then we'll roll your society check, and it'll work or it won't.
Don't worry. I think I'm good at this.
That's mostly Raz's thing.
Turn the paper upside down. I'm not actually copying words. I'm just copying lines, which is a lot easier.
It actually is I'm aware
forgery
that is a
trick.
common that's like some criminal minds knowledge. there.
Yes.
That is a common forgery tactic, yes, so that it gets rid of your own natural inclinations to how you form letters because now you're just copying shapes,
Yep.
and it does actually help a lot.
Next time I try to forge something, I will try
There
that.
you go. Never say I didn't learn anything.
Party
Here,
invitations.
if your parents ask you what you learned from the Paizo company directly, they taught you how to forge your parents' signature
Have a fun time.
on the field trip permission slip.
My
So
husband is a smooth criminal.
I am not.
small actionable knowledge.
A fortune pin.
Forging, yeah, the forging pen. Fair enough. That leaves you with Sunday now, the final day of the weekend before the week is kicked off with an evening of adventure in this gala, and that night, of course, Dreaming Potential under Roshin.
More
and
nightmares.
I know it now.
So many nightmares. Every
With
night was
that-
a nightmare.
Of course. Because Raz is a dick.
So with that final day of training, you finally manage, perhaps via the occult connections of Raz's own strange bardic magic, to finally come to grasp with this new incantation, with these new spells, how to draw this power from Milani, from literally heaven, to maybe defuse the Wendigo bomb.
Or mom.
All right.
Cut the red wire.
Which is not a downtime activity, and definitely something that you can attempt, good sir.
I can do it. All right.
Wait.
Break a leg.
If you don't know if it worked or not, just give him more slumber. Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Glug, 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 glug.
Do you want me to be here in case I have to throw him into another dimension?
Another dimension.
And at this point, he is definitely starting to stir a bit. Clearly, the slumber wine's effect is very much starting to wear off.
I mean,
Couldn't have happened at a better time.
I can put them asleep permanently.
No.
We've already said that's not an option.
Not until he turns.
Well,
I mean,
it's
it's
absolutely an option.
It's the last
It's an option.
It's plan Z.
I didn't know that was a letter.
I thought that the final plan would be throwing him at the Scarlet Triad.
No, that's plan D.
Man, this is a hard one I wrote for myself here. I'm staring at this Irish phrase for this spell, and man, I'm like, what was I thinking?
We're even treading water for you, Chief. We would
Oh
drink
my-
by you as much time as possible. Right, hit us with the Irish incantation.
All right, here we go. Faustina Stacht.
There you go.
You have no idea if that was right. I have no idea if that was right. I do know that was a
Sounded
bad
right.
number, so I'm going
Someone
to
will
give
tell
you
us,
this
I'm
hero
sure.
point.
Try pronouncing it again. You
That's
pronounced
Yeah,
it wrong.
I probably pronounced it wrong.
You're Irish.
Ah.
There
That's
we go.
much better.
All right, so that's a 14 on the die, plus 26, a 40.
What level spell?
8.
Oh, you made your signature spell.
Yes, I did.
Big
retraining
brain.
Okay, I was like, we're training a
Value.
signature spell. All right.
Yes,
fair
I
enough.
was. Spiritual weapon is nice, but
That's big. Okay, so this is big magic.
Remove curses
You
pretty good.
have
We'll
an
get value out
8
of that.
level spell that you are using to counteract a 9th level effect.
oh my god.
And a 40. You have attempted this magic before, but never by yourself. You tried it with the scroll, I think, on a couple of different occasions before this, too.
I had 2 level 7 scrolls in my
So
pocket.
this is not something you are wholly unfamiliar with, but it is the first
Wholly.
time it has been entirely your own divine power behind it. And it feels different. At first, you're not sure if that's just the difference between hard casting your own magic and pulling an incantation from a pre-developed scroll, but as you infuse the gnome with this power, you are pretty confident that Armok here has suffered the worst of this curse. Still stirring a bit in the slumber wine, but you can all like visibly see him relax a little. From almost living a nightmare to just, drugged and unconscious.
Oh, good job, Sheeny.
That succeeds by 2.
Oof.
Oh no, we've lost our backup plan for the Scarlet Triad. Whatever shall we do?
Oh, you
I
just-
will have to get my hands dirty now.
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
Don't you mean like your yeah, I guess.
The blood tends to go everywhere.
Oh, it's gross.
Why do you
Don't
think
tell
I-
me that.
Why do you think I made
I
this
didn't
two
wanna-
thread?
I didn't want to know that either. Both of you are horrible.
I mean, why do you think I work from?
Wait, you throw a beam that disintegrates part of the body,
Yeah,
and
but
I am the bad person.
I only do
Double
it to
standards.
bad Florida.
Ah! Welcome back, everybody. So, that's just a thing that happens in Florida, which admittedly is kind of surprising how few times it has happened to us in the over a year we've been doing Age of Ashes. Sometimes the power just goes out for 1 second.
I think that's
And-
the second time that's happened?
It's only the second,
Not a
maybe.
lot, yeah, like
it
in
has
a
not
year,
been a ton.
over a
It's
year.
not
In a year,
like it
yeah.
happens every day.
At least
but I
since
mean,
I've been
it's-
with you guys.
It's definitely just a thing that happens sometimes as a natural consequence of deciding to live in Florida. Is that sometimes your power goes out for 1 second, which is usually not a huge deal, other than you have to go reset the timer on the frickin' oven.
Reset it. I never said it in the first place.
Yeah, you
Yep,
and
I've-
many other of us have just given up on
I've
that.
given
at
up
this
on
point.
appliance
Because
time.
having to press the button over the stove 5 times once every 2 weeks is just way too much effort.
You know what timer I don't have to reset and I always have on me?
Is it your phone?
It's my phone.
Oh, I was gonna say your
I was about
laptop.
to say, I don't even have a
I don't have
timer
a
on my
laptop.
stove.
But that'll be our midstream break a little bit earlier than usual, and then we will just continue on to the finish line here. So I believe we were establishing that you had done a forgery, and we were going to determine whether or not it was a good forgery at a later occasion.
I would like in the party now, please.
I know exactly what you're referencing. I hate it.
One sneak attack, please.
And I think that was exactly where we dropped, pretty much. It
Yep.
was,
So, yeah.
It was a relatively clean cut. We'd come
No,
back.
we
oh,
were
and
dropped
you'd-
after the gnome had come
and
back.
Just
had
fix the
Yep.
gnome, yeah.
just removed Curse the gnome, correct.
Gnome is
So it is still the morning of Sunday. The gnome is still unconscious, but his curse has seemingly been removed, and the slumber line does seem to be winding down. So with this last day of preparation before the heist looms tomorrow, could we reconvene once more in the dining chambers of Zater's nice little estate to discuss the plans for the final day? 24 hours remain.
Oh, I'm going rune shopping.
And I am actually finally free to be able to actually assist with anything.
Wait,
How's it feel?
Why would you go room shopping?
Because I have to go.
We're not going to have the time to use it.
No. Her rune. For her sword.
Yes, but we won't have time to use it unless you can immediately. It's going to take you all day.
There's a downtime date per room.
Like 8-hour kind of thing.
Is it a downtime day or is it 8 hours?
I thought it was 8 hours. I didn't
Doing
think
a
it was
rune
a
is a
downtime.
downtime
I think it's a
activity.
downtime activity, yeah.
If
I could go shopping. We can't chain two people's downtime days together, can we?
You cannot. No.
Oh, wait, I have the ability because I have the special thing to do 2 downtime things in one day. Because I have
Those are a bunch of words that didn't tell me anything about what it is you're doing.
I did it last time. I have hobnobber.
Let's gather
That is
information.
not 2 downtime activities.
That's to gather informations.
That's
Oh,
you
okay.
can gather information in half the time.
Because that is the one. Gathering information is a downtime activity.
I didn't
Gathering
remember what it
information
was. I just remember
So,
I
yeah,
got to do 2 things last
Brandon's
time.
on right track, but that track is over there and not currently useful. But it is very useful track in not this exact situation.
So if I wanted to go in exhausted to the thing, could I do it all night?
I mean, it's
If you
risky.
wanted to
but-
be fatigued, you could do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's
Can we fix that with Dreamstone? 2 hours sleep?
No, 2 hour Dreamstone just purposefully does not let you do that because or else it would be
It's-
broken.
It
Well, it's not get your spells back.
It
in the middle of
doesn't,
the
yeah.
day.
So you have today. You have a Dreamstone to sleep for 2 hours, and the gala is tomorrow, like afternoon, evening.
I guess I
since
could
it's
sleep through the morning.
would let you put those together to have one attempt to transfer the rune
Okay.
before you enter the gala.
Okay, what level of rune is it?
It's like, oh, the rune level? No, the rune's like a 13.
It's
Okay.
not easy.
That's okay.
But it's not gonna be.
It's not impossible.
Shouldn't be super hard.
It's not super
No,
hard.
I'm a
It's
master.
not- Yeah.
So, if you want to gather that rune, then, and Roshin, now that you have your gnomish child here, has been properly exercised,
Yeah.
you are now free to take actions as well. You have one last day to prepare. You have some forged documents, you have some keys, you have some intel, you've talked to the Still Falcons. What else do you want to do with this last day?
You want to come with me to the church? To free Marshall up to do something else? Because you speak church people way better than I do.
Roshin wants a break from the church.
Speak church people very well. Yes, very well. That'll work.
Well, you actually know who the heck they are, and I didn't even know they existed until someone told me. I thought Serenray people just healed people. I had no idea they were all into the
Yeah,
flaming
they're not
swords.
really a big church in Breach Hill. There's not a big Saren Ray front there.
They have the whole
so-
cleansing fire thing kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, you're pretending like I got a religious education outside of Alceta, and that just ain't true.
That's the reason why I didn't actually use any big words there. Cleansing fire. It's actually rather straightforward and self-explanatory.
Oh, you mean like when I try to use really simple words when I'm explaining magic and you still look at me with a blank
So-
stare?
Trishik, what are you doing today?
Well, I intended to make disguises, but perhaps I'll sit here and watch these 2 all day.
It's very entertaining, but it seems like a waste of day.
What?
Is there anything left for me to gain from investigating the Gala directly?
After what you had scouted previously, you would not think there is much more value to be gleaned there, no.
I am going to spend the entire day making disguises. It's a 10-minute activity, and I'm going to spend a full downtime activity making them over and over till I get it right.
So you're not trying to get any specialized disguises for the gala, you're just trying to make your own disguises.
I'm making disguises to fit the invitations that are being forged.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely something you
Oh,
can do.
that's- that's a big brain.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Big brain.
That you can...
Because we just need to tweak ourselves a
and
little
similarly, we will roll that at a later occasion when it becomes relevant. But so your day is going to be sitting here watching them bicker until they decide to go do something. Well, Marshall, if you're not required for the shopping adventures today, what do you
You
want
can
to do?
also sit here and watch them bicker.
I could, but I feel like I should actually do something somewhat productive. So I'm gonna mosey on over to the Gladiators Guild and take a peek at that one.
Starting in some groundboard.
Okie dokie, fair enough.
Cause you know, I'm always good down for a good tussle and have some fun.
Gonna try and learn what we can from them. All right, you two are going in shopping, and Rez.
Raz is actually gonna go hit the taverns again, and this time try to gather information. He's gonna hit higher end, more rich peoples. The rich and the famous of Katapesh.
Are you going to follow the money?
The money. Raz.
Then this day we will start with you. We'll go around the other way again. So you head into town, trying to find where the heck? Why am I dumb?
Trying to find the money.
That's not hard.
That
You're
is
in Katapesh.
that's an interminable question.
Why am I dumb? There's no proper answer to that. There are thousands of answers, and they're all equally complicated and dumb.
Well, you can blame the car crash.
Whoa.
All right. So as you go to investigate, Rez, you're going to do what? You're going to play. You're gonna.
I'm gonna
perform whatnot?
perform and then afterwards kind of use connections and talk to people.
The performances have been valuable to you so far, but trying to learn things in a city where information is so jealously guarded as Katapesh, your skill at tooting is not going to get you anywhere.
That's why I'm gonna be cute.
You
and
have the
adorable.
+1 from your connections that you already have established at Katapesh, but I am going to need like a diplomacy or society to just investigate. Are you investigating anything in particular?
I think it might be pertinent to try to get a little bit more information on the gala, who's attending, if there's anyone we can use on the inside, if I can build a connection, use connections on the inside to help us out. Maybe indiscreetly so they don't know exactly, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're
Words are hard for me.
saying. Hard.
I have this nice choker of a word I can't pronounce, but it helps you
Elocution.
pronounce words better. Elocution.
Not.
Eloquence?
No.
No, it's
Choker,
elocution.
elocution.
That's
that's
the
a word.
act of
Elocution.
speaking.
it's,
Yeah.
Oh, it's speaking.
It's
It
pronunciation.
helps me pronounce
Pronunciation.
and gives me a
No,
bonus.
that's
Literally not
enunciation.
aware that was a
Elocution
word.
is literally the act of public speaking.
You
And it
thought
helps
I
me-
was dumb.
Today we learned.
And it
I
helps
did
me-
think you were dumb. Yeah, I usually do.
helps
It
me
is-
society.
It-
More important, I speak better.
Okay, fair enough.
So we're gonna use society
Okay, society it is.
for a total of math.
Math is
35,
hard.
42, 44.
With a 44,
43.
With a 43.
42.
With a 42. You would learn not much. The reputation of the Scarlet Triad, regardless of its very different situation here in Katapesh, is being a legitimate business that has its hands in very many pockets and works with a great number of the other guilds and businesses throughout the city, still is somewhat strikingly similar to what it was back in Kintargo. They are as feared as they are respected by damn near everyone. And those who are in the know of the gala, or possibly even invited to this auction, are far from dumb enough to publicly discuss anything, really, that may be included or involved. But you do get one very pertinent piece of information. Who doesn't have a hero point? So it's like somebody doesn't have one because Link 1429, the main antagonist
Oh,
of
wow.
your adventure.
Oh wow.
I am a merciful god and take pity on the pointless peasant.
Whoa, that's intense.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Like
you know
that.
what? You know what? I don't have to take that, but I will. Because you gave me a hero point.
We have a new objective in Age of Ashes. We have to kill God.
Change your deity from Alani to Link.
How many nights does that
And a
take?
Triforce on your tabard.
That's it. That's it.
You would over here, just a small amount of information, something easily kind of forgettable in the constant posturing and bragging that is the noble cast of this city, but something that catches to you as actually somewhat useful. An older man affiliated with the Imperial Union of Breeders is speaking of his daughter and using it to attempt to play up his own connections to the Scarlet Triad to make him, his posturing. He's trying to make himself and his business look more valuable. But he mentions that his daughter is on retainer for a private gala the Triad will be hosting soon as their security diviner.
Ah, security diviners. Those are terrifying things.
It certainly sounds like they are going to have a relatively powerful diviner mage of some kind whose entire job is preventing people like you from doing what it is you're trying to do.
Hey guys, my daughter is a literal know-it-all.
All right, guys, we need to go find them all and seduce every single solitary one of them in the next 24 hours.
You got
Go,
it,
Raz.
I have a legitimate invite. You guys don't.
Squeak.
I'm in.
Dude, he's like Carlos, man of love. It's
I
gonna
have
be
an
fine.
entire keyring of ends.
I mean, I could just eat everybody that doesn't agree with us.
the wall.
Aw.
He gets bigger and bigger in his head every single day.
I know. His ego is rapidly outscaling his actual stature.
Oh, a building?
The city of Katapesh?
Galarian.
One day.
Material
It turns out he's just Rovagug.
This dimension?
That dimension. All of them.
This is what caused Man in Piak to be how he is.
He saw the inevitable
He's
fiery
looked into the
death.
gullet of God.
Here's Marshall. Aw.
The last thing Pharasma hears before the entire boneyard is
This looming open dwarven mouth.
Marshall.
Grotus sucked up.
Oh no.
That's probably not
Wait,
very
Tell me
good.
about this one.
Wait a minute. Is that the nightmare you keep casting over and over again?
No.
Oh, it would still work though.
No, his is more simple. Public speaking, naked pee or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You made the ex-head of the Stonemasons Guild have a nightmare about being a carpenter.
I was about to say, you're the carpenter. He's the head of the Carpenters Guild.
Can we not leave the
And we're just sitting there roasting him the entire time.
In a building made of nothing but wood. I can't feel the mountain anymore.
His tools.
Wood.
There's a
Got it.
wooden pickaxe.
Oh.
It just breaks over and over again. There's a pile of them in the corner.
So, Rashid Resume.
Also, I cast Nightmare on him again.
Also, screw that guy. Rashid and Resume. Heading out to attempt to find this strange rune. Locating a particular item here. If you're looking for this, do you have any sort of religious lore that would be useful to you?
Specifically lore? No, fortune-telling lore and hag lore. Her religious, education
let
was
you use-
very...
Diplomacy or religion?
I
The
will-
two of you. One of you aiding the other, you don't have to use the same skill.
I will take religion.
To try and track this down. Are you aiding her? I'm
Yeah.
just going to take the liberty of assuming. Are you aiding the charisma-based sorcerer?
The legendary one.
Oh, you're using diplomacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll aid you.
She was offended. She's like, I have skill checks.
I can do things. Not with that natural 1 on the die, I can't. But that's gonna be a wow, yeah, that's not, it doesn't hurt. It goes to a 28 on
Okay,
a
so it's a
1.
regular failure.
So it's a regular failure.
So yeah, you can't make it worse.
I can't make it
but
worse.
bringing
You
Rashid
do have a
along
hero?
is not helpful.
I'm not gonna spend a hero point on that.
Essentially, what that is we're getting into an argument why they're called Sarah Knights when they're goddesses of the sun, and this is what she's trying to explain to me, and I'm really lost in the whole thing.
Wait, no, if you use the hero point, you could potentially get an edge, which is worth hero point but more.
Resume, please roll your thing.
Quickly, before she rolls it, hand it over.
Please diplomate me.
Diplomate.
Whoa.
Big word.
Another natural one.
It's okay.
They're not meant to
I
do this.
have hero
You
points.
tried to get me to waste it for no
Hit
reason.
him with the 1 in 400. The back-to-back natural ones. You'll love to see it.
Now roll
What's
another
even
one.
better
At least
is-
they're being wasted on this.
It hit the wall, rolled into the middle of the tray, and then rolled back towards the wall to go back to a 1.
Okay, I will take that. That's fine. 39.
39 with a day of effort would allow you to find a spell storing rune available for purchase within Katapesh. All things can be found within the city's walls, and by the power of the Dreamstone, if you tuck in a little bit late tonight and sleep for 2 hours, you may even be able to apply it to her sword while everyone else is sleeping. Trishik is building disguises. If you, again, disguises is similar, we'll use the check if we need it. And Marshall, you were going to the Gladiator Skill is what you were doing. So as you head in there, well, normally you would be investigating with diplomacy or society, but if there's one place in Katapesh where you can get any sort of recognition for your sheer physical acumen, it is with the patrons, the gladiators, and the enforcers running the gladiatorial arena itself. You can absolutely just use athletics here.
I was hoping you'd say that.
People will tell you things when they attempt to suck up to you because you are a big dwarf, and they
I am the biggest one.
think you might be worth knowing.
So, for lack of a better term, Marshall does what Marshall does best. Walks in and goes, all right, who do I call this off to if I want to wrestle and have some fun? 37.
37 will absolutely succeed. You would learn again that their events are held on 12 days and Sundays, so if you want to you pack your schedule here literally the day after the auction, you can go sign up to the arena.
Okay.
Hey guys, you know that big crime that just happened? Oh, what a shame. Hey, let's bust some skulls.
Well, recently, there was not a ton of skull busting going on. The gladiatorial pits here are, it's a source of entertainment here, and it turns out that generally, if you send a bunch of people into the arena and they murder each other, you run out of entertainment more quickly than you can recruit more entertainment. Especially because nobody wants to watch a couple of peasants run in there and like mindlessly flail spears at each other. They want to watch people who are good at things.
I mean, I've been known to play with my food before, but you know.
Now, that said, the previous guildmaster of the Gladiators Guild stepped down
Interesting.
about 2 months ago.
Okay.
And his replacement, who is known as Bishez Sandclaw's Shack,
Sandclaws?
is, well, he's got a bit of a different vision for the Gladiators Guild. You definitely would not meet or even see her other than up in the great stands overseeing events happening on the primary days. Here on a Sunday, there's no way of getting any actual contact with her, but you hear some grumbles and some complaints from some of the what were previously regulars. The Gladiators Guild has been kind of waning a little bit because the volunteers pool has decreased significantly since Sandclaws has taken over. On account of all the deaths, it has gotten a lot more crush some skulls. It's gotten a lot more lethal. And within a couple of weeks, there wasn't really enough available to organize tournaments between teams or even individuals all the time, and it's become a lot of pitting ragtag groups of usually poverty-stricken volunteers looking to win a big purse against some kind of monsters they've found out in the desert or had shipped in from the inner seas or somewhere, which usually just rips them all to pieces and kills everybody. It's coming to be known as the Sacrifice Guild.
Okay.
A lot of the regulars don't want to go in anymore. They're still here, hoping things will turn or taking opportunities when they're like, oh, we just have to fight like a rhinoceros today. That's doable. It's not 10 gugs. We can probably handle that.
Okay, so I'm learning all this from like the regulars and everybody
Yeah, this
else.
is mostly from the
Okay.
people in that are like, because there are people that are still around. They have their main
Okay.
events on 12 days and Sundays, but there are people who, like, they are career gladiators. This is the way
Okay.
they get coin. They come in here, they fight when they can. They try to get some of these rosters, and there are some smaller fights that happen.
Okay. So Marshall is gonna, because you said it was the next event is the day after the heist.
It would be 12 day. Every 12 day and Sunday they have
Okay,
major events,
so-
and anyone is welcome to sign up for them.
All right. So after learning all that, Marshall is just gonna say, okay, he'll sign up for the next one on 12th day, and he'll kind of try and see if he can get any deeper information on this Sand Claus or Sandy Claus or whatever you want to call her. And by talking to some of the more seasoned regulars, like who it seems like Marshall would recognize as the most experienced regular gladiator that's been there for a while.
Well, there are certainly some here who would not be big fans of Sand Claus, obviously, because they are sort of making their living a lot more deadly and a lot less lucrative and a lot harder to maintain. But beyond that, it's not like none of these guilds are one-man operations. The
Right.
gladiator arena brings in an incredible amount of gold. Again, it's probably the single highest earning building in all of Katapesh. It's just insane how much money comes in here, both from
Wait, I can make money by
entry
smashing
and from
things?
concessions and from huge amounts of gambling that they facilitate within here as well.
Marshall was very happy about
There were
this.
plenty of other people, but everybody here is gladiators. It's not like some CEO in a suit comes in and runs the Gladiators Guild.
No.
Like, Sand Claus was a gladiator for a while, and so was the previous guildmaster. And this stepping down was after the two of them fought. Sand Claus called the
Interesting.
previous guildmaster out, and they had a Sunday event 2 months ago, and they fought. And Sand Claus did not kill him, but
Made him step
very
down.
much could have embarrassed him, almost. He stepped down not too long after, and she took control of the guild.
Just out of curiosity, for information's sake, what was the previous guildmaster's name, if at all?
He would have been known as One Eye.
One Eye.
Toddy One Eye is what they called him. He did.
One Eye,
A lot of times you need a striking name,
Okay.
and you need a title. You need like a gladiatorial tag. One Eye. That's something
Makes-
that's memorable.
Yeah.
Also very fitting because very, very early in his career, it's the legend that he perhaps has had some hand in is literally his first fight.
Okay.
He did lose his right eye and proceeded to feed it to his opponent in a fit of blind rage afterward.
Sounds like my kind of man.
Impressive tales go a long way with this kind of audience here. But
Okay. Interesting.
there are a lot of people in the higher echelons of the Gladiators Guild who were not big fans of Sand Claus either, or her kind of takeover here.
Okay.
And most of them are no longer with the guild because they were horribly murdered in fights that have been organized over the last month or two. Kind of coincidentally, a really large portion of the people that have been massacred in these fights have been some of the most outspoken supporters of One Eye.
Now, I might not be the brightest ember in the forge, but something tells me that some of these sound like they're on purpose. Just a little bit. So, what I'm thinking is I'm going to spend, I guess for lack of a better term, my downtime, not only just, getting some rap, get a lay of the land, get the lay of the Coliseum. I'm going to try and find out anything I can about Old One Eye and some of the previous members and whatnot, and see what I can gather,
Right.
and maybe see if that might become useful later on after our little adventure in the heist.
But that's about what you can get from your day of
Okay.
investigations here. I mean, you can certainly come back and investigate further, but as far as you can tell,
That's all I can.
the
find for
other
now.
big thing that's kind of stopped a lot of people in the skill from speaking out about the lethality in Sand Claus is that it has like doubled the profit margins of the arena. You don't have to pay dead people, is the first thing. And the second thing is, boy howdy, the lethality has made it way more popular.
Well, if it's the one thing, I'm definitely good at skilling things.
There have been consistently record-breaking numbers of spectators in the arena since Sand Claus is
Actually,
turning things around.
I just got an idea. Marshall had a big boy brain blast there, and Marshall is actually going to see if he can get a hold of Miss Sandy Claus. And
That would get kind of laughs and chuckles. Doesn't seem like something that's going to be easily feasible.
well, I mean,
But in the future, perhaps.
in the future,
So wait a minute. Basically, the new CEO is destroying the longevity of a company to increase short-term profitability.
So yeah, it's America.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
They wrote a very realistic adventure.
They did. Yeah. No, actually, yeah, that's spot on.
They wrote a very realistic adventure.
Good
Well,
job.
basically, long story short, Marshall is going to collect what interesting little bit of information.
Yeah, that's what
can,
you get.
and then
That's what you get.
bring it
throughout
back to
the
everybody
right.
else.
Did they write out the tax implications of this sudden profit surge?
They're paying
That's
taxes.
beyond the scope of the adventure, I believe, is the phrasing that we
I
I was
mean,
about to say, I don't know what taxes
I got
are.
an
Basically,
Excel
to
spreadsheet
get,
for
to
that.
get to the accounts payable office, you have to walk through the arena.
They just unleash like
Five
a
guards.
pit fiend or something. And you're like, no.
The interest is cumulative.
So the group of you, that was everybody, right? I believe I got everybody.
I
This is
think
going
so,
around. Reconvene at the manor, and Resume very shortly needs to head off to attempt to transfer this rune, but everyone else shares what you have learned with each other. The interesting life and times of the Gladiators Guild. Do you have a big pile of various useful disguises? What are you trying to disguise as? Just more performers?
Well, some performers, some guards, some guests, like just taking the forged invitations and making, like, pick your disguise.
Choose your own adventure.
Mad Libs.
And Rez
Mad
has
Lib's
come back
picking
with
the invitations blind.
some more information as well.
Oh, I got the no.
Security.
Sharing all that with each other, you would want to be rested for the adventures of tomorrow, certainly.
We're not doing a
And-
Mad Rager tonight?
What?
We're not going to a Mad Rager tonight? We're going to go pre-party?
Oh, you said
Going all
birthday?
the fuck Toys R Us
We got a
in a
pregame.
couple day window before it turns into a Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah.
Let's go nuts. Resume. I believe there is a crafting check. You get one chance.
Don't roll a 1.
And it is uncommon, which does make it harder. Because it is, as soon as you get it, you realize it is a very fragile rune. Even just like keeping the thing is complicated and requires a gentle hand. Transferring it to Roshin's sword, doubly so.
You guys never give me easy stuff to do you?
She volunteered for this.
He said it was level 13 rune?
Yeah.
All right. This is gonna be fun. Trishik, don't suppose you want to stay up all night and help, huh?
No, good night.
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought that was gonna go.
Hi, nerds.
I just want to say I have the utmost faith in you.
Wake up in the morning hearing sobbing.
My sword's in pieces.
Fine, the sword's
How did this happen?
She did it, not me, I swear.
All right, let's get to work. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Read,
Fragile
read.
immediately grabs the hammer.
No, that's for the sword.
The first night of peaceful rest Roshin's gotten.
Yeah.
Not plagued with nightmares.
All right, let's see it. Do good.
Yes, that is an 18.
That's pretty good.
That is really good.
Oh, that's one off.
That's
not
gonna be
critically
45.
45 is absolutely going to succeed. You have done this a few times now, and regardless of how complex the rune itself is, you have
Put
You've
square
done it.
peg in round hole is not that hard to me anymore.
no. You are a master crafter. Transferring runes is like
Steely-eyed missile man.
the lowest possible art here. So getting your 2 hours of quick shut eye VSV Dreamstone, the group of you would awaken on the day of. The Gala is set to open its doors officially a few hours before sundown, with the auction itself slated to occur 1 hour afterward. Plans? Wing it?
Well,
What else do we do?
Get in there early. See if we can get him a couple of hours before the show begins.
this diviner is a top priority. If you would like, I could perhaps take care of her.
We could also just try to get in there like before the diviners get there.
They're
Pretty sure they're
going
already
to be
there.
It's probably a good idea if we could perhaps. The only problem is if we actually go after the diviner, won't they see us coming? It'd be a terrible
Not
diviner if they didn't.
necessarily.
Vader kind of smiles. I think perhaps it may actually be best for you to arrive as the doors open. They will have more on their plate then, with the masses arriving, and high-profile clientele, all probably sticklers for their handling and their treatment. They will have less focus available for the group of you.
Well,
Wise words.
Raz is also a performer. We could also get there early on the grounds that he wants to see where he's performing.
I think it actually might be a good idea not to actually associate ourselves with Raz. That
No,
way
no,
we're completely
I meant-
separate party.
I meant Raz could get there early and get started.
I
The
don't.
more you entwine yourself with these cover stories and personas, the harder it will be to detach for the actual rescue later.
That's true.
I think it may be wise to not allow these covers to have too much control of your actions.
I have a cover?
No. You have a disguise and you need to lie your way into the front door.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That is as far as your cover needs to go.
Well, I
I'll leave the
have...
tabard off at home.
Probably wise, I would
it up.
imagine.
So
Yeah.
what should I do?
Put you into disguise. Let's get his picked out.
I made one specifically for you.
We'll be looking very intimidating.
It would be wise, perhaps, to give your dwarven friend here the true invitation were his physical characteristics not included in the instructions. They have skipped no steps and spared no expense. A forgery may have to do, but I imagine
Just
stick
gonna
with your
disguise
friends
him as
and
one of the robot things.
it's one of the giant automatons.
Beep, boop. I don't know.
The Scarlet
Tinfoil.
Triad
Well,
has close ties with both the Pact Masters and the city of Katapesh itself.
also probably have Marshall go in with Resme as
That's
a
what I was
guard.
thinking. Yeah.
I would be unsurprised to learn that many of the Zephyr Guard themselves may be contracted to protect the event. The Scarlet Triad perhaps having propositioned it as valuable to the city. Perhaps you could attempt to be smuggled in. Can hide inside a crate of good or some of the refreshments, some of the kit of the performances and the evening's entertainment, perhaps?
I mean, I make a really good vase.
I mean, I guess we could try.
We can put you in a crate of potatoes.
Open spear. Way ahead of you.
We have air bubbles. We can all breathe in whatever we're
It is
in.
also possible if you arrive when the front door is very much busy with the retinue and all of the guests arriving. It may simply be easier to avoid the guards and slip in somewhere through the side. If you think your odds there would be better than presenting yourself to the doorman.
I am confident I can go about any approach. We have taken measures.
I'm going to leave it up to you all.
Well-
I'll make do.
I'm confident in you getting in the front. All you have to do is put on a pretty smile and hand people to men.
Well, yeah. I'm very good
The
at that.
Concern would be getting these two inside.
Exactly.
Well, I
perhaps
could
anything...
make you disappear, like really disappear.
Welcome in, Band of Badgers. Thank you for the raid. We're getting ready to heist ourselves a VIP out of a slaver gala. It's gonna go great.
I could make you disappear, like really disappear.
That could be quite useful for Marshall, that's true.
That is not a good idea if they have a diviner who is constantly looking.
If they hired a diviner, I'm assuredly she's going to be very, very powerful at her job.
I do
Very
not
good at her job.
think invisibility will be a good
No, I wasn't
idea.
talking about invisibility. I was talking about much, much high level magics.
What you... The Wendigo bit. When you put it up in the Wendigo fight. It might work. It's powerful enough. I'm wondering if actually it might not be a bad idea to
Right.
directly strike at the diviner herself. Certainly not for murder or anything. She's just doing her job. But
Where's she at?
No, I will simply
That's
give
the
her
issue.
a drink.
Fair enough.
Or Marshall just walks in through the front door, acts bold, doesn't make himself look suspicious. He's in.
I like that plan.
We would have
Sometimes
to send him with someone.
Well, yeah, send him with resume.
I think he'll have to be my guard.
I mean,
We can use the side door and get the both of you in, simply just when no one is looking, or if you would like to be stationed as guards for what is your second thing you give?
Lady Adela, but I don't particularly want to compromise her identity. I was not going to use her for this. She's very useful, and I would like her to stay clean.
And then you just dress Roisin up real nice and pretty, like put her in the corset, make her look like a noble lady, and just try to hook on to someone else.
I could make her look like whoever you want.
I mean, I suppose if we should have to, I can supplement it with magic. I could leave the armor at home, but it'd be better if we could actually keep it in, just in case the fight actually got a bit protracted.
I think having you both as guards is the best way to get you inside.
Fair enough.
agree.
I will
Raz?
take care of myself. You already have a way in, and you can use the papers and bring along a retinue.
Okay.
Still, if you are concerned, I think either those of you who you have perhaps less faith in could be brought, again, I believe with the crowd is the best.
I think so too.
This is no midnight raid. We are not breaking into a warehouse under guard. This is a gala, high-class event, and there will be no strangers to patrons who do not wish to be thoroughly inspected, or those who throw a fit at any question of their pedigree or their presence.
Going in with the crowd is definitely the best option.
Yes. I'll take a look at my documents. I'm clearly not the forger Razes, and I'm not the thief Trishik is, but I'm also not totally not good at this. Like,
Right.
I've done this before. What is my persona? Like, what am I doing?
The documents that you have, if you wish to make them specific instead of an edge that you can use when the case arises, I can spell them out for you.
I'm fine with them being an edge. I just wanted to get an idea from a persona perspective who I was.
I mean, he didn't write you a backstory.
It's just a general physical description of a
Each
female
of the
half-elf.
invitations, comes.
I'm a full elf.
It's not. The full invitations are difficult, and the forged ones would certainly be like a last resort. But you have various agreed work contracts for performers, or things that you have written up for supplying things from various kitchens and restaurants throughout the cities, and where the refreshments are being sourced from. A whole bunch of different because the idea was to have a bunch of things depending on how this goes. In case if somebody questions you, just like, oh, sorry, I'm just catering, like, and you just pull this out.
Hey, like you spent an entire downtime day making 10-minute forgeries, like I did with disguises. Like we just
Okay.
More or
have
less,
a bunch
you
of
have a
Okay.
bunch of various
That's good.
possibly useful assets.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, I like it.
literally like pick and choose, find one that you like a costume with, and you're good to go.
Okay, then we're gonna make you two look really scary and buff, and we're gonna put you back
We already
in.
look like that.
I was about to say, hold on.
Now we're gonna give you
Turns out-
Borderlands 3 muscle
Ta-da!
lines.
No, but I am going to quickly put some
So
sort of
Useless.
for him.
no, some sort of
Useless.
obscure elvish house symbol on both of their clothing. Nothing that anyone around here would have heard of,
Fair.
but I want them to at least look official.
And
Did you know that hiding in crowds is a thing you can do with stealth?
yeah.
That's
Did you
pretty
know that
much.
I'm just gonna walk in the front door?
As you're discussing
I mean, you are wearing a suit.
Just
Xander emotions again. It seems that of the group of you, you have the most faith in Trishik here, who does seem to be very well competent at what he does. While it is perhaps wise to stick together once you're inside in case complications arise that someone is unable to deal with, getting in initially may be easier if you have someone on the inside to smooth things over. You may find many doors open once you have already passed the first ones.
Do you want to go in 5 minutes before we show up?
It's not a bad idea. I could go in now if you want me to, really.
I don't want you around for
In
that.
the bush.
I think not for that long, but definitely maybe 5 to 15 minutes would be good. Just give us. I've seen what you can do in 5 seconds. 5 to 10 minutes is going to be more than enough for you.
Everyone's dead.
Oh no, the ballroom is suddenly a bloodbath. What happened?
Oh no.
And I'm the one you're worried about.
Yes, but you see, he jokes about it and doesn't actually do it.
Marshall is just rolling on the floor laughing.
All of your judgments notwithstanding, once you are inside, you will need to locate Milk, this guildmaster, and then, of course, getting him out will be a challenge all its own. He is, how to say, the belle of the ball. He is their main attraction this evening.
I actually have a solution for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab the unmemorable mantle. He does not have to be him. He can be literally anyone else.
That's
this
a
will help.
genius idea,
It will
Trishik.
certainly be all but necessary for us to have any hope of succeeding.
My plan was to make him a woman, so that works way better.
Given what you have told us about the estate, I imagine that he will be off-site until near before the sale begins. I am not sure of the full plan of this estate. I was unable to turn up anything, but perhaps a basement may be a likely candidate. They would be more willing, I imagine, to keep him somewhere below than above, where they have more security concerns with the roof and exposed windows.
I should think.
That said, this building has been an asset of the Triad for some time, and this is not the first auction they've hosted there. They may have made many changes to prepare this for the very purpose. They may have a veritable prison below grounds for all.
I think
Would be the first one.
I think from that particular perspective, we are just going to have to wing it and see what happens when we get in there and see what opportunities arise. We're no stranger to that.
We're nothing if not adaptable.
No plan survives contact with the enemy. If you can get yourselves in the door, I believe that if anyone can figure a solution to this, it is hopefully you. Sorry.
Well then, let us wing it. This should be interesting to watch you all get in.
Look, I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yes, but you have to bring along individuals, making your job a little more difficult. I will
I get
assist.
the feeling he
of
doesn't have
course.
any faith in us, Marshall.
Look, I just want you both to not say anything and look at me like I pay you a lot of money to not have other people hurt me.
I have exactly perfect faith in both of you. You would not make it through the gate. I know exactly what would happen.
Fair enough. Fair
Just,
enough.
just
No,
to
no,
be
no, no.
clear, I'm going in before all of them.
This is fine.
yeah.
No.
You're actually invited. You're actually invited.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not with these clowns.
I'm not associated. No association.
They're gonna make you use the back door.
That's fine.
Gonna get shoved in the green room.
All right.
Well, is there anything else to prepare?
Oh.
Any other plans to be laid, or
Make sure Marshall knows how to act.
Just
gotta
making sure
drill
I
some
have a change of
performance into
shoes.
him.
seems a task much greater than one for a few hours.
No, I
Don't
want him
worry.
to be himself, not say anything, look around like he wants to hurt
No.
people, and smash anything that comes near me.
Say
will
less
be
than what he
far
normally
from
does.
alone in that company, I am sure.
See? He'll fit right in.
Say less than what you normally say. Don't mention potatoes.
Oh,
Besides,
it's a tall order, ass.
Pulls one out of his
Don't
beard.
mention potatoes. It's peasant's food.
I'm also relying on the fact that he smells so horrible that no one wants to go near him as being a deterrent for keeping him at the line for very long. They
Oh,
might-
yeah. Also, go take a bath.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be very good if we get moved along very quickly because no one wants him there.
Also, anything
Smell as
that
bad as possible.
you don't want him to
Oh, that's
stick
easy.
too much out.
They won't. I mean, Roshin will,
Oh,
will put,
yeah.
put that thought right out of their heads.
The patronage of this auction spans multiple planes of reality. I do not think a smelly dwarf will be that out of place.
It's going to be
Can you
great.
smell
There's
him?
gonna be a few smelly dwarves.
I mean,
I'd like to think I've become blind to it.
You haven't, have you?
I have not.
I'm sorry.
Truth be told, this menace here has been far more agitated since you arrived, and I have wondered if it is this.
It's probably Roshin.
I think that's more likely, honestly.
The blood gets
This
snakes
one
riled
is
up.
always hungry.
Sheenie,
I don't have anything to say about it. In all honesty. Yes, it's
Sheenie,
fair enough.
I like your smell.
You're very kind, my
They
dear.
don't even eat. I don't know why they are so determined. It's
Oh.
not like I feed my hair separately.
So I shouldn't have fed her.
Just while the Medusa's asleep.
Just-
What? I wasn't asleep. It was after I put the rune in. I was really curious.
It is, I suppose, fine if they do. It all goes to the same place. We are one body. We do not have bespoke stomachs.
Imagine
No.
No.
Stop.
Stop.
Stop right
with
now.
that thought.
the implication.
No. Stop.
All right. On to the heist. Fast forward.
Yep, we're good.
And so, that afternoon, the heroes of Beachell made their way to, hold on, it has a fancy name,
Ooh.
to the Betchamtal estate.
The estate that is soon to be burned down.
Maybe.
Okay.
It depends
You said-
entirely on how this goes.
The
I
bechamel
suppose.
estate? What a lovely sauce.
So right now would be a fantastic time to be an alchemist.
I am an
there's
alchemist.
but a full-blown alchemist. There's like a level 4 feat they can take where they can just put a bomb down somewhere and then from anywhere nearby activate it like a statual charge.
So they can like char the paint anywhere they want.
so they can like blow doors.
Level 4 Alchemist Fire. Oh, got a
But you
little
can
warm
like
in here.
blow doors off their hinges and stuff because you literally put like a shaped charge on something and activate it from just nearby. It's a really cool feat.
It does actually sound super.
It's just very specific to like infiltration and heists because it does splash damage and destroys an object.
So you have discovered a situation in which an alchemist is useful.
We did it! We beat Pathfinder.
Now find a situation for a witch.
A witch would be useful.
Useful in any situation that a wizard is, except like they run out of spell slots sooner.
No, a witch would be useful. In
But
a
you can have really
situation
long claws.
where you
And
need
prehensile
long
hair.
fingernails.
Guys,
Sorry.
enough of this.
So, as
adorable
you
kitty cat.
head to the estate, when are you arriving? Let's say it's about 4 p.m. when they would open the doors to guests to begin to allow everyone to settle, mingle, and partake of the entertainment and the refreshments.
I want to arrive before then
Okay.
as a performer. That way,
And
I'm
then are
in.
all the rest of you going with the crowd?
Yeah, right at opening.
Did you want me to go in early? Because I can just go in early.
Yeah, we said 5 to
Yeah.
10 minutes before we show
So
up.
I'll
We'll get a
go in
little bit
early.
beforehand. So Raz will be the first one to arrive. So, heisting time. Heisting time. We have things for that.
Rocks fall, Raz dies.
As you approach the estate, surrounded as it is much of the grounds with an elaborate wrought iron fence that seems to serve more purpose to be ornamental than to really prevent anybody from climbing around it. Woven throughout with exotic vines sprouting colorful intermixed flowers. And does a good job of obscuring much of what you can see with it. You are not the first to arrive here, as at the gate itself, a few of the Scarlet Triad's guards are checking the paperwork of what appear to be a trio of performers with very garish, literal pinstriped attire. Hats with bells and all. Rez, the slightly subtler approach to bartery, as you take your turn to come to the door. And the guard simply holds his hand. Evening. I'll take this and look through it. Look over at you. Yep. Sophie got the horn. Truth be told, though, I thought this performance was gonna be. This was a 3-man act, wasn't it?
Huh. Well, unfortunately, my compatriots got very, very ill. They ate something very bad. It's the first time in Katapesh and got very overcome with all the cuisine they could find here. So they're sick.
Make me a society check.
Society check. Wow, I'm glad someone piled me up with some gold. Raz is choking on the food. I'm just going to toss that one over to Mataz. He can have it.
Hey.
There it is. For a total of a 45.
Very nice.
45, that will definitely critically succeed. Oh, of course, sorry. I must have been thinking of something else. Right this way, sir. And with a simple touch to the edge of the gate, it swings slowly open and allowing you to head into the manor itself. Through the, again, extravagant and elaborate gardens sprawling outside and inside the proper building. As you arrive, you can see that regardless of its start time, a few of the guests have already started to come in. Everybody who is here as, clientele for the auction is very easily identifiable by incredible lengths to which they have gone to appear as wealthy as physically possible. The fashions, the outright gaudy jewelry of all sorts adorning the bodies of men and women both, everywhere possible. There are already maybe a dozen various people mingling in this entryway here. Some turn your direction as the door opens, immediately dismiss you as the help, and go back to whatever it is they were doing, allowing you to make your way inside with no further complications.
And as soon as I'm inside, if I can slip to a place where less people are looking, I'm going to take Mataz and say, go find something. Go scout. Be a rat and hide. Don't go out in the open.
Make me a perception check.
Perception checks.
Cats everywhere.
Oh, no. For 40.
Well, the 40s, Mataz runs off and does some things. He comes back to you very shortly. Almost a little panicked. They're not taking kindly to a rat here, and he's only so sneaky. But he tells you something interesting. Did you speak rat? So you can just talk to him, right?
Yes.
Not very smart. But he tells you there's a girl with a bright violet dress, blonde hair, net of pearls around most of the end of it. That seems off. She smells like magic. She smells like something weird. He doesn't know what. But your little rat here is positive there is something amiss with this woman. And that whether that is helpful or dangerous, don't know. But definitely a weird one. Trishik would arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. And I imagine you'd be hanging around somewhere in view of the place sometime before that, just biding your time and waiting for your moment. You would see several times singles, pairs, small groups of individuals simply appearing before the gate, as this kind of event is, again, not the kind of thing people are just taking wagons to. The wagons are for peasants who think they have money. Near everybody seems to be arriving by direct means of teleportation. But notably, they are all teleporting outside the outer gates of the estate itself, much where this first security point is. Even 30 minutes before, the outer gate has already just been simply opened and is stationed by a few guards who are basically just welcoming people in as they come. You see paper checking has moved already to the front doors of the manor itself at the far end of the estate, or at the far end of the gardens at the front of the estate. You go a little earlier than 5-10 minutes before because people don't seem to be wholly attached to the concept of a start time here and are sort of arriving, well, as early as they really feel like it, and you want to get in before your allies arrive at least. What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to join the early goers. My disguise being I just don't look like myself normally. There's more colors, a little more vibrant. I don't look like a cliff scale lizard.
Right. Sitting out in the garden here, as you pass through the front gate, just sort of where there's enough people that you're not walking by yourself. The guard's kind of curtly nodding to everyone, but not really acknowledging anyone individually. You see there's a small gathering in the garden of people conversing. Now, this is the point where I'm not entirely sure where the bar of people is. I don't know if people, it just includes all sentient races. Is Raz people? He's just kind of a rat.
Yeah.
We're all people.
There would be a trio of people speaking in the gardens. One standing upright with a bright blue turban with a white feather set in front of it on top of his head with a gold thread kind of wrapping around it. A man that you would recognize. You would have seen him the other day near the platform where Raz's daughter was speaking, actually. And he is speaking with a very large, probably 10.5 foot tall, extremely well-built, bright red man whose eyes just seem to burn with fire. He has small, not so much horns, it's almost just ridges that run on either side of the top of his head. But he's dressed as well and as exquisitely as anybody else here. He lounges on a stone bench in the garden, seemingly peripheral to a conversation happening between this man and a very light blue-skinned woman with stark snow-white hair, whose eyes almost just look like white voids. They are clearly... What's your society proficiency?
I'm trained.
You trained.
I know that they're sentient.
You're trained with society, and you've been in Katapesh for like a week. You can probably recognize a fire genie and an air genie. The clientele here, again, is a huge, a widely cast net. And there are people literally coming from other planes. And the genie population of all sorts within Katapesh is kind of surprisingly high. They're not even super uncommon here. Just going to the markets, you'll see like an Afridi or a shaitan of some kind around.
Are they just genies in 2nd edition, or are they still Jinn?
I think they're just genie. Well, I think they're like genie is the subtype in 2nd edition. I'm going to Google it real quick just out of raw curiosity, because we're going to find out.
Because in 1st edition, they were all Jinn of some kind.
They are in 2nd edition. Let's just look at specifically Afridi. Genie is a subtype.
Okay.
So I would say they are all genies. These are actual genies. These are not like the huge red guy is like as a large sized creature. Like that guy is clearly a full blooded Afridi.
You ain't never had a friend like him.
Big man. But yeah, they all have the genie subtype in 2nd edition. That was an interesting mechanical thing. So as you make your way in towards the front door here, make me a stealth check.
Singing his theme song as he sneaks through.
Okay.
43?
Uh,
45.
With a 45, you, with all of your skills, regardless of the fact that you have no proper invitation or anything here, would have no real difficulty just kind of blending in past the original check.
I brought one. I just didn't want to use it if I didn't have to.
Right. And make your way into the front door, again, into this grand entryway here. The stage still cleared for the time being, but you can see a small group of various performers behind it. Looks like a decently sized orchestra, tuning instruments, preparing simple things, getting things together to start setting the stage up. Around this room is, when you first arrived at Katapesh, you were stricken with the incredible diversity of the city. Again, there's just genies all over the place. Races, gnolls are commonplace here. This would be one of the first places you would have seen other Yosoki and other Uruxi in any real number. But this is that at another order of magnitude beyond that. While there are a fair number of humans, they account for maybe half of the patrons that have arrived for this auction so far that you've seen. The others being a strange mix of some people that don't even seem wholly incorporeal. You can see what looks like literally just a hulking demon in one corner, almost kind of comically crouched down on his goat-like haunches and furred legs, with like a giant suit drawn over himself and holes bored in the sides of his head for his massive curling horns to sprout out from him. Just kind of stooped down in the corner, trying not to take up too much space, talking with a couple of beings that seem to be made of pure shadow, their form almost effervescent. Like it's just incredible who has appeared to this and how, again, how far-reaching the Scarlet Triad's operations are, but you, as well, are inside with no real difficulties.
So here's my strategy with dressing. I'm dressing either as a high-class woman who wants to draw attention to her body and is clearly very good-looking, or perhaps a performer that went to the wrong door, and these could be her two bodyguards.
Those are two
either
very
way.
different things. Which one are you doing?
What I'm saying is, depending on how this goes, it could either be a mistake that I went to the wrong door, or I could be at the exact right door.
Fair enough. So, you three are all going towards this together. So the group of you would arrive shortly after the invitation stated that the Gala was set to open its doors for good. There would be no flood of people. This event is fairly exclusive. And honestly, how it's been as Trishik arrived is about as busy as the front gate is really going to get. Regardless of where you're going once you're through, the three of you pass through the front gate at first. You two dressed hell. What is your plan?
So, in order to look like a guard and not like an avenging, crusading oracle, leaving the tabard at home, instead wearing a sort of this tabard that Resme cooked up, which is sort of a turquoise and green tabard with this obscure elven house symbol on it. But aside from that, I mean, fairly just well decked out with just a no-nonsense, like just looking around bodyguard type attitude.
The big angry men who are escorting the small girl and keeping her safe.
I took the sticker that looks like the elfin house crest and put it on my armor.
It's just
There you go.
It's a
Still got the
leaf.
gug head.
I have to look scary, don't I?
That's fair. I mean, people stay away from you and you're just wearing a bunch of dead stuff and a giant gug head, probably. Trying to make a large berth here. So, as you go in here, we're going non-specific. We're going kind of less is more. You're not expecting to be recognized as who you are by random members of the Scarlet Triad, so none of you are...
Given the extremely high mortality rate that the Scarlet Triad members that have run into us have had, I would imagine they don't have too much craziness going on. Plus, I have a different colored eyeball now.
That's fair. Your eyeball is a different color, and even survivors from previous events would never recognize
Never
you.
recognize me.
I'm wearing a different
Put your hair in
hat.
front of one of
You're
your
wearing
eyes.
a different head.
No one will know who I am.
So as the guards at the gate wave you through as you make your way in, you walk through these gardens here towards the front door where invitations are being handed forth and documents are being checked. Much of the Gala for right now is kind of evenly split between these gardens and this main atrium. So at this point, there are plenty of people out here enjoying simple drinks, waiters carousing around with their plates of hors d'oeuvres, people going through just enjoying themselves before the evening's festivities are truly underway. And just kind of making your way towards the door, I assume. Goal is to get inside. That's where the things are.
Yep.
You hear an unfortunately familiar voice.
Uh-oh.
Dare I say, is that Miss Resme?
Oh, no.
And you turn to see
No.
familiar
No.
hat and face.
All right. I have a new target for marked for death.
And you see light mustache upon his face, green jacket, dressed almost like he's still prepared for a safari up here. That is, I can't believe, Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore. We met back in the jungle some months ago.
Who are you, sir? I'm not with any of the people I was before.
You're not, no, you have
So
these two
she
bodyguards
is
with you.
literally going to play this off like she has never seen this strange man before in her life, and
Marshall.
she's kind of insulted by the fact that he's coming toward her.
Kind of
looks-
step in front.
It looks
Marshall
sort
kind of looms from
Yeah,
behind.
yeah. None of you people recognize this guy at all. You just see like a late middle-aged man who seems to take himself incredibly seriously. Monocle set in one eye. He actually still has his shotgun slung across his back. He brought it, of course. And well, I mean, this is what he decides to wear to an event like this. So that's the kind of guy
Pith
we're dealing
helmet,
with. here.
shotgun,
I
khaki
mean,
pants.
Where does he keep the kegs of gunpowder?
He does not have them on his person.
Oh.
I mean,
Shotgun is ornamental
All
at the
right,
moment.
so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna silent cast. Outcast curse on him.
We're heroes.
So that's not hidden. You're still obviously casting.
No, I'm
Silent-
not. It's
silent
silent. I'm
cast?
hiding somatic.
We
I'm
talked
hiding
about this
everything.
before.
No, no.
Yeah,
No,
There's light.
You get a bunch of energy that
There's
Yeah,
energy?
magic.
No.
No.
Silent cast also has the effects of conceal spell, but you have to
No.
make a deception check.
That's a wizard feat. You can't possibly have that.
What are you? What?
Silent cast requires conceal spell as a prerequisite.
But
you
it's
are
not
not
s-
talking about the feat that she has.
She has blood.
She has
We're
blood
talking
components.
about
I have
Conceal
blood
spell.
component
That's not silent
substitution.
spell.
Yeah, this is not what you have. You are not using a verbal
Yeah,
component, using
I
your
know.
blood components.
No, I'm not.
What are you doing?
So blood component substitution. lets me replace
You're
any of
using
the
blood
components.
components. No, I'm not. So blood component substitution.
No.
Continue.
You said it was. I thought you meant something else. Yes, I am. So I am.
It's obviously casting.
This does not in any way conceal spellcasting.
But I bypass the need for incantations and gestures.
You are
that-
still gathering
But-
energy, like magical energy is still gathering around you.
Upon
There is
that-
still a clear.
Unless
We
you,
had this conversation before.
Yeah,
It
it
does not
doesn't
in any way
actually
hide
work
your
that way,
conversation.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
The only
So-
way to hide spellcasting fully is with conceal spell and silent spell and a deception.
Is
check.
by being a different character.
You have to be a wizard. It's a wizard exclusive. feature, I believe.
Upon seeing Resme
I
almost
assume she's mad, but not going to cast.
Yeah.
something
No,
else
but
like
she
that.
looks mad. Like she looks like she's going into like defensive mode. Like she looks scared.
upon that, seeing Marshall seeing this, he quickly puts a hand, like lightly taps her on the shoulder, like, "Milady, is this hard man bothering you?" Hand on the hammer.
No, we met before. We actually went on quite a safari together back in the depths of the Mongi Expanse. That was a riveting tale of river journeys and ancient elven ruins.
It
and
sounds like you're actually a bit confused here. Why don't you go back away before you make a fool of yourself?
No,
I'm trying to
well-
coerce.
Make me an intimidation check.
Would you like me to help you?
I see bad decisions by the bad decision lizard coming up to here is a hero point.
You can assist. Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely assist. You're both here.
Intimidating
Mean
prowess.
mugging this man.
I don't know if I can
I
intimidate
will
prowess.
absolutely give you intimidating
I'll
prowess
take
this
it.
man. This man takes himself very seriously, but you are very in his face and able to physically
Just for
menace him.
record, I'm legendary.
Cool. What'd
What
you
did
get?
you get?
Math is hard, so I got a 42.
You got a +4
I'll take it.
from legendary.
Let's see here. That's a 43. I'm also legendary.
Winning.
Boom.
Sort of inches back a little bit. Well, no. I mean, no offense, of course, but surely you would remember Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore,
I don't.
renowned historian, author. You've heard of me, yes?
Is he deranged?
There's other ways to go and try to hit on a pretty girl at a party. Why don't you go think them up?
I can always add a new stain to me axe.
God, I wish in character that Trushik had met him because he's frightened right now. I could steal his ankles and no one would ever know.
Kind of takes a step back, like awkwardly sort of shuffling here. Very much clearly cowed. And Grisheen, you would feel just a gentle kind of touch on your shoulder. Now. Please, if there is any difficulty here, these are things that can be settled by sizable purses in the floor of an auction, yes? There's no need to come to any kind of disagreements before the operations have begun in earnest.
Please don't
And
let him anywhere near me. I don't know who he is. He's
This-
importuning.
The same man, Jellic,
Oh,
here,
the guy with the-
wide smile on his face, arrives and just kind of reaches out and quickly two-hand shakes Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore's hand here and says, "My apologies, Lord Stoutmore. I am sorry, but you seem to have been mistaken. Please, if you would inside, there is fine food and drink you can avail yourself upon, the likes of which are the finest available in Katapesh." And he turns to you and says, "And my lady, I do not believe I have had the personal pleasure, but Jelek Jasaiman, liaison for the Scarlet Triad.
She'll put her hand in his, and, and she'll actually curtsy in the manner of Keonan, and she'll speak almost with a Keonan accent, and she'll give the name of the obscure family, and just say that she's here vacationing, and she brought two of her family's guards with her.
The pleasure is all mine, I am very much certain. And to make your acquaintance certainly has made this night a wee bit brighter."
Oh, and she'll look very abashed, and she'll kind of blush a little.
So you give him, you
Yeah.
introduce yourself as Resme?
No.
You
Not at all.
just give a name, you just curtsy, you don't say
Yeah.
anything. Fair enough. I welcome you and hope that you will enjoy the festivities that the Scarlet Triad has organized this event. We thank you for the patronage of a fine elven noblewoman as yourself. Please, be much on display for you to peruse this evening.
I'm very excited.
I apologize for any confusion that may have happened, but
Did he introduce himself as Jessamine?
Did he not?
You rolled you rolled the name, and I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, Jellic Jessamine, yeah.
Okay.
He's not giving you a secret. I was like, I don't think I gave him a different name. I'm pretty sure I just gave him Jellic Jessamine. But he bows pretty deeply.
And
before-
she'll curtsy again.
putting his hands back at his sides. Please take all the time you need. The auction is not scheduled to begin for some time.
Right.
She'll nod at both of you and just gesture you on.
Me lady, do you want some food? I'm gonna grab some.
No, you're going to stay with me.
Rostine's just gonna be quiet and follow her.
His stomach starts growling louder.
No.
So the three of you proceed further up the path to the door, where you are quickly approached by one of the doormen, where you see him kind of turn and look past you, and then back to you, smile and bow and just gesture towards the interior. I perhaps received a signal from the back. Maybe don't bother them anymore.
She'll
Please
nod.
don't make the money leave.
She'll nod and just walk in.
So the five of you have made your way inside the estates.
Just behind you guys, he's like, just let him go. Just go.
But all of you now inside the Beshmatal estate, whichever it is, with no real complications that have arisen so far. Rez, it would be easy for you, and Trishik, as you're inside as well, to see the rest of your group arriving at the front door. To the perhaps relieved surprise that somehow this worked and nothing went terribly wrong. And you're all inside.
Trishik, where are you?
I'm literally about 10 feet to your left. I'm looking at you right now. Hello, yes, you can see me in your head. Yes, a little more. Yeah, yep, that's me.
Potted plant.
I look like vibrant, like a jungle lizard, rather than a mottled.
Do you have the little friend?
Flowery potted plant.
Yeah. No, just colors.
She'll just wander around, just looking very curious. She's never been in this house before. She's just, now that we're inside, she's just casually looking around, just expecting them to follow her and just keep an eye out.
And it has it's a very large estate, even beyond this massive interior. It's almost an interior courtyard that is this first entryway. But doors on either side lead out to front wings that look out over the rolling gardens, where many of the other patrons of the evening are still waiting. No hurry, really, to come inside. Again, waiters and retainers flit about, offering to either serve drinks, small appetizers, take bags and cloaks or hats to make things easier as guests require. And through either of these side wings are spiraling staircases that lead up to an upper level, where two separate parlors on either side still have many free seats among the scattered tables and couches through each room, and they meet together in the balconies that overlook this central courtyard where the main event is to take place. Most of the doors beyond these initial areas are closed, but those ones are all left open, sorry, with waitstaff standing nearby any of them, just ensuring that the way remains clear and that conversations are moved out from primary paths. So you can see at this point that although it is an exclusive guild, it is a fairly large one, maybe 4 or 5 dozen different patrons that have arrived here, combined with the fairly expansive wait staff, means that even the large available area isn't crowded, but nowhere is particularly private.
She'll take some champagne and some canapes and kind of just walk around just looking curious. And then you'll see her put her heel down on her silk cape, and you'll hear a rip. We have to find some place I can repair this or take it off or something.
That looked rather deliberate. Was there a reason for it? Oh, you're doing a thing. Right, I'm terribly sorry.
Marshall may or may not have hijacked an entire tray of hors d'oeuvres.
Would
He
Raz,
just has his own thing. They would have let you
would
take it.
Raz
No one's
have
gonna say
told
no
us
to you.
about the
Like they had a choice.
lady?
Raz has been
Ow.
like watching out for you guys, trying to get someone's eye contact for you to signal you to come over to him.
I
'cause
would have
he's-
come to you after I'd come
Yeah.
inside.
So, that one right there, that lady.
I will
Something's
go
off.
take a look. He is likely my target.
I'm gonna go talk to her. Actually,
If you would like to.
you stay nearby, please. Reassuring.
And as right as you
Safety
go to
wizard.
split up, you would see that near the back of the room, a couple of similarly clad individuals with bright red robes with the emblem of the Scarlet Triad upon the breast have stood together and appear to be performing some kind of incantation in the empty space back behind the stage. It's rather brief, but at its end, a creature appears between the three of them. An almost fish-like head upon a somewhat gangly but humanoid body with a long, curling tail that just kind of drifts around almost as if unaffected by gravity itself. The being's flesh is almost entirely a pale blue, save for the skin of its hands, its feet, and the face. Again, its head almost like an anglerfish perched atop them. And a mass of similarly blue tentacles writhing out from between the thing's shoulder blades. In the center of its chest, it almost glows with an amber light through this oddly smooth flesh. And the thing appears, and people nearby kind of make a little bit more of a berth. And then one of the mages bows to it, and the thing looks down and nods its head, and then just starts kind of looking around the room.
What is that?
That'll make me a
Cultism.
religion/bard lore check.
I'll do the bard board check.
I'll do
Religion.
Arcana.
Yeah, this would be a pretty obvious thing that everyone could see here.
Yeah. Do a bard
I
lore.
guess we can always throw a dice
This
at it.
does not
I mean, if
sound
you're
like
not-
a
if you're
typical
not-
religion.
Yeah, I guess you can just roll them. I suppose it doesn't super matter if you're horrible at this.
Yeah.
Nah, I should probably roll it if you're not, Jen. What's your modifier?
24.
24?
Bard lore, whatever that is.
It is almost certainly a daemon of some kind. Just the nature of its appearance and of its seemingly demeanor make and just the aura that it kind of puts off. You've studied a lot of these things, maybe not have seen a ton in reality, but daemons are like the oft forgotten lesser cousins of the demons and the devils. Demons being the chaotic evil denizens of the abyss, and devils being the lawful evil denizens of hell. Daemons are their neutral brother. All of the evil, less of the absolute madness or strict adherence to contracts, and more of just an ambivalent force of bad things. They are fully sentient. They are they are intelligent. Obviously, he's probably here to buy slaves. But what a particular daemon is or isn't could be freaking anything. Honestly,
What language do they speak?
he hasn't said anything.
You got
And-
Brooklyn, you got the Bronx, he's Queens.
I was
Got
gonna say,
it.
what language do demons normally
Queen.
speak?
Daemons only speak Daemonic, which
Daemonic.
is a separate language, but many of them are, much like devils, many of them can also speak Common. But you haven't seen him say anything or even really. His jaw almost just kind of hangs open. Again, his anglerfish face. The inside of his bony maw ridged with needle-like teeth. Two prominent fangs on the front and the bottom.
That's terrifying.
And he's kind of agape and
39?
looking around and just nosing
Literally
at things.
out loud. Raj just says, "That's terrifying."
I just kind of nudge Rasheen and be like, I bet you 50 gold I can eat it.
No bet.
19, you would identify this as a void daemon.
What you mean with the 39?
39, sorry. Void daemon. One of the more powerful types of daemon, and one that both trades in and is sustained by soul energy. They eat souls.
Like the fish?
Probably that too.
So he's probably here to buy some souls.
You might be here to buy some souls.
Well, the nice thing about a slave auction is the souls are nicely prepackaged into fleshy boxes.
She'll relay that to
Excellent
Trashiq because it might be a good piece of information for him to know, and maybe pass on to Raz if he sees him. Since Raz is 50%
Trashiq-
wrong.
Trashiq is with Raz.
I know that's.
Walkie-talkie, crystal walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
So I can just tell you the name of the creature, not really any specifics.
It's terrifying no matter what you say. Doesn't change that fact.
It's a very spooky looking creature, Aster Damon.
Spooky fish.
By the way, it eats souls. That doesn't make it less spooky.
Yeah, no, it's
Opposite,
already.
if anything.
I mean, I ate souls.
No, it's pretty big. It's large.
No
It's
more.
not nearly as big as the hulking devil or demon sat in the corner with the hat. But it's about the size of the Afridi that you would have seen outside on the way, and maybe a little bit bigger. The thing stands maybe 11 and a half feet tall.
Wave at it.
Like, it's pretty large. It would just kind of look at you, and you would hear just a voice inside your head. Yes, food?
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
And you just look away.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Jerk. Anyways,
She'll try to find out where the withdrawing room is so that she can fix her hem.
So as you... Are all of you coming, or just the bodyguards? with us?
I'm going to stand outside the door while Roshin goes in there with her.
There you go.
Yeah, finding a place there would, of course, be facilities accessible, and they would be a little bit further back from these front wings. Off of
That
the
was my
side.
hope.
It would not be difficult to locate either. Standing in the hall outside the facilities, which there would be 2 sets of fully appointed bathrooms on either side, but off of either of these frontal wings. Not any kind of gender delineation, just 4, so people can have whatever degree of privacy they want. It would be 1 servant standing outside in front of a table with a silver platter domed over with a small amount of steam eking around from the outside, who has a dry towel looped over his arm and several more of them stacked next to the steaming platter on the thing behind him. He would simply nod to you as you approach the area, not engaging you directly, but just letting you know he is here.
I'm afraid I've torn my hem. I don't suppose you have a bobby pin or something I could use to pin it up so I don't trip on it.
Oh, if you would excuse me, madam, I can check with the staffing in the back and see if I can find something for you. I don't believe we have a seamstress on duty, but perhaps some materials that we do.
Thank you.
He takes the towel off his arm and quickly, like in a single motion, takes it off and folds it on top of the stack with the rest of them. Bows briefly to the 2 guards and heads further into the estate.
Okay.
Accomplish what you like.
Yes, we're here. No one's watching us for a minute.
For now. Has Trishika managed to locate our prize?
I think so. I'll give you a brief description of what he saw and where he saw it.
Of what?
Of what?
Of the girl.
That doesn't sound like the guildmaster.
I have seen the girl. Raz is going to talk to
Oh,
the girl
this-
first.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all I
no,
was
I thought you
describing.
meant
The guildmaster. I was like, okay.
No, that's my target.
Oh, you mean the
fair
girl in the
Because I
purple
gotta
dress?
deal
The girl, yeah, the purple dress girl. I thought you meant the guildmaster. I was like, none of you
No.
seen the guild. Why did I-
Roshin is assuming guildmaster is
speed
still the
runs.
target. She
No,
has not been updated.
we have a checklist of things that have to be done. That's my
That's fair.
first
Resme,
thing.
did I say you could have any less than 3 hero points?
Oh, thank you.
Yes, just got
Nice.
Nice.
you. So the 2 of you are still in the main room with her, and as you have kind of a clear hallway back here, what are you 2 doing? Raz, you were approaching
I'm
her.
approaching her.
I'm letting him make the first move, see what he's gonna do.
And she would see you approaching and look down,
Big old smile.
and just kind of nod. I don't believe we've made acquaintance. Baroness Epminia Falsfar.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Babe. That's not how you greet. Excuse me, I'm not too custom on greeting baronesses. The hat.
I'm not one to judge much on appearances, but are you looking for one of the serving staff? Do you need assistance?
No, I just was hoping for conversation. It's awfully boring waiting to actually perform, especially when you're a one-man show and you already know what you're going to do. And you look like you had some interesting stories to tell.
Am I not transparent? Did you give her your name? Did you give her your name?
Oh,
That's all. I'm just asking. Like, what shall I call you?
I missed this stuff. The name is Raz. Just Raz. Raz is fine.
Raz, then. I would imagine much the same could be said of near anyone here at this Gala. The clientele here is impressive for human resources.
You could say that, but sometimes this mere mortals on the plane of this have way more interesting stories because it's way less expected.
Of course. Have you heard much about the Jewel of the Hour, as it is? This, the name was, had some fanciful title like Ice Killer, but her Excavazu, I believe. I have heard incredible rumors of her abilities, seeming to rival that even of the greatest artisans of the plane of Earth. Something that seems perhaps hyperbole for human hands.
I think I've heard of him. I got a lot of mixed information, but they weren't from the plane, I believe. I thought they were a jeweler from some other realm.
Oh, they were. Simply, I make comparison. And while you're talking with her, Trishik, what are you seeing? Raz just kind of walked up and
Just nearby, mingling, waiting
Engaging in
in case
conversation.
needed, or this is for sure the target.
and they're just kind of talking about stuff. What's going on in the back hall?
So I'm taking a moment to see what connects to any of this. What door did he walk into? Was there like
He
is there
would've
like
gone
a servant's
into, like,
door?
a door that just led further the opposite of the front door, just further back into the estate.
Okay.
And this
Is this building made of stone?
it will be largely brick, yes, brick and stone.
Marshall, do you have that little box with you? Any basements about?
As you open it up, it looks like there are. So the difficulty with this thing is it's really difficult to display a multi-leveled structure like this, as you can't see through the sand really. And also the building is large and intricate with a huge amount of interlocking rooms and small servants' passageways that connect through greater areas. But
Wood framing would not show up, which would let me see through the walls.
if wood framing wasn't showing up, then it wouldn't show anything. I mean, if you could see through the walls, you wouldn't be seeing anything at all. Stone is showing you the external of the area, but it also seems to be the main component of most of the interior walls as well. They're not just simple wood paneling. The whole base of the structure itself, the full architecture, seems to be made of not stone brick externally, but almost just unnaturally carved stone inside. Much of it is, of course, covered with wood paneling and all sorts of various upholstery and banners and portraits and whatnot. But every one of these floors and walls, at its core, looks like it is flat, smooth stone. Give me a perception check. And both of you can either aid each other or give me independent ones as you look at this box.
I will aid you.
Sure.
Unless I mean
I guess
Yeah.
if there's three of you, you could all do it if you want to.
That's true. Let's just all see what we can see.
Yeah, we'll just all roll.
It's 30.
Nope. Less than 30.
Okay. Hey,
it's gonna be a 38.
magic of throwing dice at things.
So with a 38, a 30, and a what? 26. 26.
Marshall's not very
He
perceptive.
participated.
He held the box.
I had the box.
The lid was in his face. He couldn't see around the lid.
Fair.
Perception is not your strong suit. You see a couple of different ways. There clearly is, as you try to crane around and look through the shaped sand here, there clearly is a sub-level. And it looks like it's accessible through a couple of different areas. It's not actually just one single doorway that leads down to the basements below. It's difficult to tell as you're looking through several stories. The only part of this that is not stone would be the roof of the building itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking through a second and third level to the first level to try and see, like, you're looking through consecutive, like, doorways and shaped stairwells in here. Some stairs, fortunately, wooden, being absconded entirely. It looks like there should be a relatively simple, the easiest connection to the basement would actually be nearly the same direction that servant had just gone. Just beyond that door, it looks like you should be able to find a staircase that leads below decks.
Perfect. We have an excuse to go that way. The door's unguarded because the servants left. We can just head down.
Resme, so I know that blood magic doesn't make it not obvious, but I would like to at least make it silent so I'm not clearly casting.
Or private. It's private right
Yeah,
now.
no one's directly looking at you.
Yeah.
And I'll cast Prying Eye.
Okay. As you go to cast your spell, as it completes, a vivid, vibrant blue aura coats Resume's entire body as it does the invisible floating eye here. Trishik in the main room, you immediately see one of the mages as two of them are conversing and one is talking with somebody else after they'd summoned that demon. One of them immediately furrows her brow and turns
I'll dismiss it.
towards where your friend went.
That's my cue. I found my target.
So,
And we'll head through the door.
dismissing it removes the blue aura as it slowly kind of follows you for a little bit as it fades out, almost like the dust trailing off of you.
Well, that's good to know.
That's
head to
really
the
good to
doorway.
know.
So, I'm going to walk over to this friendly individual who I just saw mere moments ago summon this
Demon!
Damon.
Damon.
thing.
And even as you go to her, she says something briefly to the man she's talking with and heads towards that door as well. And you can easily kind of put yourself in the way here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's wearing this red robe. She has a gold chain necklace set around it, set with a crystal pendant at the bottom. Again, this emblem of the Scarlet Triad. She's got relatively short brown hair that doesn't even reach all the way down to her shoulders. That's just kind of cast back to one side and hanging sort of loosely behind, covering one ear and one side of her face, but leaving her senses clear.
Notably, my marked for death has not shown on anyone, correct? I put it on Raz's perceived daughter.
No, you have not seen.
So we don't know
anything
for
from
sure
there
if
at
that
all.
was her, just making sure no one here
Yeah,
was like her
your mark
disguise.
for death has not appeared on anything yet.
Okay.
And you kind of clearly putting yourself in the way here.
Well, I'm
She's you need to
I'm
engage her.
interrupting
Yeah.
and engaging her.
Sorry to be bothering you. I had a few questions about
Pointing over at the
Demon.
thing, the demon.
Damon.
about this particular security. Is he a guest? He's
While I would
fascinating.
love to engage your curiosity here, sir, I don't believe the violating the privacy of our various guests is forefront.
Oh no,
of
no!
my mind
If
right
he is
now.
a
But
guest, then that
you
is
are-
my mistake.
He is one of the patrons that the Triad has invited to this auction. Yes, you are, of course, welcome to speak with him yourself if you desire. I am sure he has at least some degree of amenable, seeing as he's one of the invitations to arrive here. Do not
Would
let-
you perhaps mind introducing me? He's a very
Make me a
interesting.
deception check.
Go for it, dude.
What is that, an 8? Well, that's a reroll.
Why do you think I had my
He
hand
just has the hand out ready for us. I just put it in my guy.
better?
Yeah, that's an 11, so 38.
With a 38, she kind of looks towards the door where the rest of your party had gone into the east wing. And looks back at you. I am not familiar with him personally. I know nothing more than a true name necessary to summon him to the wards of the mansion. But of
It
his,
is more of him than I would possibly know.
but it is also something I, of course, am not able to disclose. He entrusts us with that information so that my allies and I and the Triad could allow him within the walls. Of course, we have measures in place to prevent any sort of teleportation in or out that isn't within our regulations, and he needed assistance.
So
to
that
be able
is
to
why
allow.
everyone had to go outside. Okay,
Of course,
I
but
see.
you understand, given his figure and perhaps the assumptions you made yourself, that him appearing out in view of the good people of Katapesh was not in anyone's best interest.
Yes, I
He
do.
applied for an exemption. And
What do you
we
mean?
allowed
He's a
him.
cutie patootie.
I
What
do.
an Astro Demon looks like?
It's terrifying.
They are horror monsters.
You guys are judgmental, and you know
He
what?
will
I'm
eat
just.
your soul.
Literally.
You know what? You know what?
I mean, he's not unique in that aspect.
So will
Yeah,
Tom
that's fair.
Hanks if you give him 5 minutes.
It's curiously specific.
But as she nods, again, I was simply the more proficient of the casters available to be the primary for this ritual. I don't have any personal connection to him. It was an Astro Demon. They're the horror monsters.
They're sweethearts compared to some of the stuff we've seen.
If you ask over there, Lionel, my associate I was just speaking with, who is currently partaking of the fine wine, he was the one that was initially contacted by the gentleman for the exemption for the arrival, so he may know more and have a more proper introduction for you. But if you will excuse me, I have other duties to attend to.
Well,
Apologize.
while I have you, I did have another question. I'm gonna just keep asking questions. and waste time.
You're gonna be that guy.
Yep. Gonna ask literally whatever. Trushik is way better at this than I am.
You're just gonna be a nuisance
Just
and
gonna
just
be a
waste your
nuisance.
time. Make me another deception check.
So I'm going to try to, with this deception check, get her over to sampling fine wine with him as well eventually, so that I can give her a dose of slumber wine.
Did you learn the annoying trait from Marshall?
Perhaps. So 41.
Okay.
I rolled higher.
Can't be rude to guests.
Can't be rude.
Customer service.
She can't. She's like, she calls over. Excuse me one moment, please. Lionel,
Of course.
the East Wing washroom facilities illusion. And the man nods and then heads towards the same door.
I'm gonna let
And,
him go. I can only do so much without looking suspicious.
Oh, what's that over there?
But you have her attention. She is distracted.
Fantastic.
Brez, as you are here, you're probably aware of this as well. You still speaking with this random baroness here.
Yeah. Just, I can't stop that.
As you're talking with her,
Nothing can stop it at this point.
you see a door from this main courtyard open into the back area, where you know the performers have the things, their instruments, their props, their things they need for their various setups. And this orchestra at this point has taken the primary stage and has already begun to play, providing just this music that kind of floats throughout the entire manor. But coming from the back room, dressed in a very bright green, almost like a smock over some more beige trousers, coming out talking to one of the almost jester-like people that you'd seen that arrived just before you, would be Miravel, who is just kind of smiling and sort of giggling, brushing the hair out behind her ear and humoring, in good spirits, seemingly. And this jester, clearly very much enamored with her. Her clearly humoring him and looking for an excuse to go do anything else.
Does it trigger now?
It would absolutely trigger now, yes.
Okay.
Mark for death you would see, and that is the mark. As not somebody disguised as her, unless that was what you saw in the first place.
Same individual.
The same individual that you marked.
Oh. Excuse me. It sounds like the performers are starting. I need to go see what they're doing.
So behind my back, I'm gonna snap my fingers, and try and get Raz to look at me because I know he's not too far away. And would he look my way at all?
Yeah.
It's not like packed. It's
Yeah,
Like a
no,
convention. Like this.
just
I'm
am I
used
gonna
to-
get your
I'm
attention,
used
or
to
are you too
Trishik's
focused?
signals
Yeah,
at this
this
point.
is much more open than like the streets of Katapesh or the
So-
market. So yeah, you'd easily be. It's not loud in here at all.
Yeah. Well, just while I'm having this conversation, I'll use double speak, and same individual is the message you would get.
Okay. I'm gonna excuse myself from the Baroness. Keep a lookout for my performance. You'll be enamored, I'm sure.
She just kind of nods and smiles.
Just humoring the little rat child.
Hands her a card.
She's doing what Mirabelle is doing.
If you ever wish for a performance, hands her a card. Just says Raz.
No contact information.
Raz.
No address.
What do you
just
do?
Raz.
You
I'm going over to Mirabelle. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss.
look down and like double take because you're clearly Raz. You're not in veiled. this
No,
time.
I'm not veiled at all. I
And
need to
she
use
just sort of freezes.
the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? Where's an outhouse, a privy, anything?
Sorry, I'd love to hear more of your tale of your time in Absalom, or
I would
Please
love to
excuse me
hear
a moment.
more, but he needs the bathroom. I'm sorry.
He's a child.
the jester kind of just puts a hand up. Look, there's plenty of servants all around the place, so you can find someone that'll hug you, I'm sure.
Intimidate.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Not even trained. Intimidate.
Aggressive squeaky noises.
Just screeching.
I've taken a book out of Sheik's over here.
Just keep,
A page out of
get
Sheik's
your
book.
trumpet. Just go toot.
Even worse. He just like stares at him.
Wait.
Use
We
the
have an edge. Use it.
use the edge point.
We have 3 of them. Use one. I give you my blessing.
That's not counting much, sir.
But,
I used
But-
the edge.
but,
No.
Yes!
Don't do it.
I rolled a 1 on the first one. Can't get worse than a 1.
Why?
Roll it over there.
10.
10.
That's
10
not
times
a,
better than the first one.
that's,
So
that's
it's
not a
15
one.
total.
not bad.
Rax isn't scary at all.
Worth.
What's your intelligence?
20.
How? Never mind. Just
Wait, your intelligence is 20?
Yeah.
Smart.
My charisma's 21.
He knows a lot of things.
I know.
That's all he has because it's untrained. So, yeah. You hoisted him, and this dude just kind of furrows his brow, and Miravel just pats him, please.
The rat's
Like-
losing it.
Physically pushes him back towards the door. And
Doing a
turns,
little bathroom dance.
turns back to you. You bloody serious?
100%. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Looking for you.
Nothing good, I'm sure. I should.
Oh.
She looks around the room. Give me one reason I shouldn't get Jasmine right now.
You love me?
What are you doing, Papa?
Looking for you. Where have you been? You disappeared in Catargo and now you're here in Katapesh? That makes no sense to me.
The Triad. Look. And she again just kind of looks around the room. Oh my God. Look. Etrix and Jellic have been more than kind to me, explaining everything that's been going on with you and your new friends. Okay? Look, I don't want any part of this. I don't know what you're doing or why. But look, if you love me, leave. Get out of here. Stop whatever it is you're doing. Murdering people, I'm sure.
Murdering people is self-defense, for one thing. And I haven't killed anyone.
Nothing you've done is self-defense.
Besides, this Triad is terrible people.
They're saving the world.
They're saving the world by sacrificing entire villages and cities. Have you heard what happened in Kevlar?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a dwarven city. You should know it. It's in your book. We researched it.
Right. I know.
Sagarok. They
Sagarok, I remember.
made a deal with a magma dragon. Give up the whole of a city.
They have much...
They're taking the easy way out.
All that you have done. Look, is it true? Have you... Did you follow them to Sagarok and kill Emberbeard? Emberbeard and all the mages she brought with her. They were just trying... The reason doesn't matter. Did you kill them all?
I didn't kill him. Marshall did. Marshall was family, and he can't stop in front of family, especially when he's 3 times my size and can murder me with a single swing of the axe.
I don't know what has happened to you in my absence. Look, I know what it looks like. Obviously, I didn't go with them willingly. You know that. And if you're on some warpath just trying to find me, then go home. I'm fine. They kidnapped me, but they've been... They explained everything they're doing and why. And since you have been following just these murderers around the world,
They call themselves heroes.
they're not the heroes.
Only 2
Edric
of us are
Treagle
murderers.
is the hero. He's the only one that can stop this.
But what's a hero? Someone who takes other people against their will, enslaves them, sacrifices them?
They
Aren't heroes supposed to protect?
did what they had to do. They haven't sacrificed anybody. Look,
You hear Trushik coughing in the background.
Try not to choke on your drink.
Yep.
obviously, I'm not happy about what they've done. And I know I'm not stupid. I know they've kept me here as leverage. I get that, I do. But what choice do they have? Look, there is a god or something coming to
We've talked to him, or a herald.
coming to burn the world, and you can't stop him. You can't.
I can't. My friends can.
They can't either.
I'm sure they can. They're heroes.
You don't understand. He's just like, sorry. He just drops his glass on the ground.
It's like, no.
And what guarantee does a triad have of stopping them?
What are
He
you
doesn't.
saying?
They don't. But look, you don't understand.
Heroes.
Timing.
You don't understand what Etrix has sacrificed. You think you understand sacrifice. They're not sacrificing other people. They're sacrificing their own. They are taking people.
That's legally not wrong because the slaves do belong to them.
They're slavers. That's not wrong. But if it's not them, it's going to be somebody else, and somebody that treats them a whole lot worse. Look at this place.
Then
Look
don't.
at how they treat their goods. It's awful. I know it is. But if your choice was to do nothing and let the world end, or is it the only shot you had at saving him, what'd you do? Rez. You don't understand. I don't even understand, but Atrix Angelic
Please tell me I'm getting this like second degree.
have told me everything they can safely. They told me about the Endeavor. They told me about the Orb. They told me why Ember to do what she did in Cobbler. And there's nothing else that can work. Rest, just if you ever cared about me or anyone other than yourself, trust me and leave. You and your friends can't do anything that Menkare can't. This isn't about us. Don't make me call Jellic over. Please.
You do a very good Stockholm syndrome.
Very good Stockholm syndrome.
I've been preparing for this.
RuneScape has trained you.
Here,
Levity past. Back to character.
I don't know the full story. I can't give you all the information.
Don't know any of the story.
But they threw me in a pit. They malnourished hundreds of people, sent them all over the place. They're not just sacrificing, they're taking away lives.
They didn't want anything that happened in Ravenel to happen.
Then why'd they let it?
Because
With all their resources and all their power?
you know how far away Ravenel is from Katapesh.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a distance. Of course, we teleported here.
Look, it's that stupid dog woman of theirs, Varys, is a terrible, terrible woman. And she has done terrible things, and you murdered her. You murdered her?
I didn't. I was in a hole.
You murdered.
I was actually captured in a hole. I didn't even know they fought Varys.
Your friends murdered her.
They weren't my friends at the time. But, Mira,
Oh, we murked her.
Were you not with him?
I wasn't with
In
them at all
Catargo,
in Catargo at all. I tracked you, found myself captured, and then partnered up with them until I could find you again. Listen,
None of that was what was supposed to happen. Varys was an animal off of her leash. I know. It was her people that took me to. I know. My first exposure to the Triad. Trust me. How do you think I felt? But it's.
I want the full story then. If you're trying to convince me, give me the full story that they're doing right.
She just kind of looks back across the room again. I don't. Make me a perception check.
For a 40 total.
With a 40,
That's not bad.
it looks like she is almost literally like choking on her words here. Like she keeps trying to say something and like almost physically stopping. like she cannot bring herself to say anything.
Okay, fine. I'll give this up, but I'm coming back. When we have more information, I know the full story, I'll make a decision then. You know, you never make a decision without all the information present.
I know.
And I have one side.
Etrix, you told me everything you could. Look. Papa, I love you. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you've been led so far astray. But I love you. 15 minutes. I'm telling Jellic, you and all your friends are here. Don't be by then, please.
With that, he's gonna just open up his bag, take out the book, and just hand it to her. Her book. Hold on this ring. I'll leave. I can promise you that I'll
Jellic
leave.
can't even look at you.
All right, I'm leaving.
She just sort of stands there. You're still dealing with a wizard. Where are you going?
Gonna head towards the front door. I'm leaving.
So, Sheik, you would see Raz have to come past you to go out.
Yeah, telepathic message, letting them know primary threat distracted, secondary caster heading their way while all this is happening, and then updating them again saying it looks like Raz is leaving.
Meanwhile, in the back room, as you headed back into this chamber here,
You've got like a 2-minute heads up that a caster's heading your way,
you
2 minutes is a lot of time.
or however long it was.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
made me a perception check as you came into this last area. This area, again, it's not behind any locked doors or anything, but it's clearly like a servant's passageway.
37.
28.
39.
It's a decently large communal area, and you can see that there are a couple of guards that are much more at ease than those out throughout the rest of the gala. They're sitting here, but they're not doing much of anything. Sitting in this little like servants preparation area, there's just racks and cupboards and barrels all around. Much cheaper seating. The room literally just lit by a lantern set on the table rather than the just sort of ambient lighting that appears to be present throughout the rest of the manor just naturally. And as you come in, you hear one of them briefly mentioning key count that have been wrong, and just kind of shrugging.
I wonder what could
Why,
have happened.
Like it probably just lost them. Honestly, I don't think it's. Sorry. He turns to the group of you. This is. Were you looking for something?
The lady has torn her dress. We're finding an out-of-the-way place to fix it.
You just past the open facilities in the hallway behind you.
It's certainly not suitable. It's practically open. Bare cloth covering? Absolutely not.
This is a. This is outside the public domain here. I can't. You can't come back here.
Surely you're not going to be insulting our guests now. That's coercion.
Please.
I have quick coercion too. And group coercion. I'll hit them both.
Roshima's built for this.
I
moment.
was built for this. I was
Intimidate
built to intimidate and bully my way in a social situation.
Marshall just
Intimidate me,
kinda-
Chief. Well, you and then you can assist if you want.
Of course. Why not?
Take it.
I mean, my job is to be spooky. And spooky I am.
Sure, that's another critical success.
Probably +4. There's no way you.
It's
can't-
40 something.
Yeah, there's no way you
But,
can't get a 30. So like, I'm sure he's gonna critically succeed.
Nice.
Legendary.
Pretty good. I don't think prowess is appropriate because I'm not
Probably
really
Oh, it's a
not.
45.
threatening to murder
Yeah.
them.
So plus 4.
So that's gonna
20.
be +4. So that's a 50.
The 50. The other dude is gonna stand up. Right. Check the. And just leaves.
Go Team Spook.
And the guy sitting at the table. That door's storage, I suppose. It's a walk-in pantry. It's large enough.
We'll find our way and just walk past him.
Marshall just makes the way.
Was that a critical success?
That was a critical success.
Nope.
Nothing.
Resume is she's kind of like limping as if like she's like the hem is actually holding her up a little.
So as you get to the next door, the one that you think would lead down to the basements, you find that it is locked.
Oh, that's
Try
not a
it.
problem.
And it make me an athletics check.
Oh. True Sheik's keys.
Oh, right.
I literally have a set of keys for everyone. You all have a set of keys.
Just see if that opens the door.
As you look down this lock, this looks brand new.
Resume will see that and she'll say, "Stand behind me," and she'll get out her lock picking kit. Because I am a decent thief.
Where did you get those?
True Sheik.
Make me a thief.
Can I
check.
assist?
Is that your family's crest on the end of
It's
them?
the fact that from with what?
Telepathic telling her what to do.
How?
I can see it.
A little bit to the
I
left.
can't see
And
it.
I'm a master. I can see it. She can show me pictures. Mental pictures. And I'm
Does
a
that
master.
actually happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's telepathy.
I mean,
We
technically,
have full telepathy.
You can assist, maybe. I mean, yeah, this dude knows that there's like literal astro demons and crap here, so he's like, I look like people.
35. Which
It's the critically succeeds, so you master
Yep.
plus-
So plus 3.
3, because it doesn't go up at
Okay,
expert.
that's fine. Okay. Okay, that is going to be a 40.
40 will succeed. That's your Sheik's assistance, and about 6 seconds you click this pretty finely made lock open here.
Resume looks at you and winks.
And the guard, as he hears the door unlatch, like, you
Marshall just.
be quick and don't tell anyone.
Okay. All right.
And Marshall just mouths the words to that guard.
Not astro demon. Not an astro demon.
So,
Yeah, not your soul, just your physical body.
Rez, you just leave it?
I'm gonna go out the front door.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. There's just gardens out front, right?
Yeah, this is a large sleeping guard.
Yeah,
A
I'm
lot
just-
of estate outside. It's outside the manor itself. There'll still be plenty of people out here. The auction's still sometime out.
I have nowhere to go. I don't have a home to go to. I'm just in Katapesh alone.
Did you
We have a
come
house
from
to go back to.
Katapesh?
No,
Kintargo.
no. Raz has no home to go to if he's just gonna leave. He's gonna sit in the gardens and just kind of
Pout.
play a song. Gonna do a little
Toot the flute.
a little sad toot.
Trishik, you get a contact of the three of them. This staircase does lead downstairs. The door they unlocked is actually hugely reinforced. The back side of it is actually a solid plate of lead bolted onto the back. And you're pretty confident that they have the direction that you need to be going.
So,
Trishik, you'd be so proud of me. I opened it in like 6 seconds.
Yes, that is what I expected. I have not been showing you what to do for nothing.
so
She looks really pleased with herself.
at this point, would I have been able to convince her to partake in wine with me?
Maybe another deception check.
I don't like 7s.
7s are for losers.
But it's like a 1 that just wasn't written very well.
Exactly.
Better.
Much better. That's a 16, which gives me 43.
She would partake of some wine, yes.
So that is poison. That is slumber wine.
Weird. I never would have.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Which
Wait.
conveniently,
Drink
slumber
this
wine is a light item. So it can be stored in a concealed sheath, meaning that when I pour the drinks, it's actually just the wine coming out of the concealed sheath into her glass.
Put a finger over the
Yep.
neck.
Lizard stuff.
What's the onset period for slumber wine?
It's an hour.
An hour?
Yeah, but the point is, she has now been taken care of.
Yeah, she's not going to be getting much of it anyway. Are you following your team here?
I will, after taking care of that, I'll telepathically let you know that the diviner will be taken care of in an hour. Don't cast magic until then.
Gotcha. Team sneak team time.
So as you come back through this back hallway where the washrooms are, you see the robed man from before, who is sustaining. He's kind of kneeled down near the back of the doors where Resme had been standing, and he is sustaining an incantation, looking around and clearly analyzing something. He is the only person in the hallway.
Just gonna walk past.
I'm so proud.
But why would I? I'm not gonna do anything and blow my cover.
Quick save.
So a 32 for sneaking, and if it's a fail, it's a success.
Fails a success. So you slip
That's a
by
2.
and into the room and to the stairwell with the rest of the party.
That's
where
how confident in my stealth I
He's-
am. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a 2. It succeeds.
He's coming. I imagine the three of you at the bottom of the stairs here would have made your way to the basement, which is still lit, but the just sort of, again, ambiently, no discernible source. But it is a fair bit dimmer. Much of the extravagant expense that has been spent appointing the rest of the estate is kind of gone here. There was a simple rug across the ground, like the main of this walkway leads to another heavy-set door, and the walls are just kind of bare, again, almost perfectly smooth stone, as are the floors and the ceiling. Tashik, as you come down, join the party here. Sorry. Go ahead, Rizzo. And Rasheen, for the polite coercion.
Oh, you sneezed that one out, did you?
She'll
Magic trick.
she'll touch her necklace, and she's
Slumberland.
got dark vision.
Okay, it's like dim. It's not like dark at all.
As she does that, does she get exploded with the blue glow?
As she does that, coming out of an item, it actually would not.
Good.
I was
Good to
about
know.
to
Because it's not casting, it's boop
Maybe.
effect.
But it does not immediately ignite itself.
I mean, honestly, like if it was using magical effects set this off, I think it would be being set off every 5 seconds because
Yeah,
I think they're
literally
using
everyone in the
magical
party.
items in this house every 5 seconds.
So, at this lower door, as you go to open it, Trishik would immediately, if you're not leading here,
I would be leading it.
Oh,
this
he's
one,
so
probably.
leading.
you would touch it, look at the handle, open it, go to move it, and stop almost immediately as you sense just a little bit too much resistance on this door. There is almost certainly some kind of trap configured to the backside of this.
I am fully capable of searching while avoiding notice. So, just a
We're
perception
not
check to
like
see
in
if I...
exploration mode. There's
Well, no,
not-
like I can do multiple things. Like
That's fair.
I can focus on paying attention and not making noise.
Okay. So give me, assuming you're going to obviously have disarm, just give me a thievery check.
Can I assist since I'm standing there with him?
Not really, because you
Okay.
can't really get like to the
Gotcha.
doorway to help
Hand
him
me
here.
the tools.
We can hand you tools, yeah, but
So, that is a natural 1. But, you know what we
have some points.
Edge.
Edge point.
You know what's not a fortune effect because I'm probably going to need both.
Never mind.
Never mind. 43.
43 will quite handily be able to reach through just a thin tool to gingerly support the lever trigger on the back of this as you push the door the rest of the way open before you let it down in a way that is not going to activate the incredibly volatile explosive system set behind this door.
It's about like
what
30 alchemical bombs
What
strapped together.
looks to be a combination of alchemist's fire and magical sigils, force detonators that would multiply the strength of the blast. This would have been pretty bad. This would instantly vaporize most people who attempted to come through this door. It would probably just hurt you severely badly.
Not if it's a reflex save.
Hurt me really badly.
Hurt the rest of them very badly.
Yeah.
I would just open it, the explosion would go around me, and I'd be like, huh. Turn around, you're all dead. Oh.
Ah,
mean,
dang it.
You and I would probably be fine.
We are now in the basement, which is a massive, veritable complex. It seems like Zader was not horribly wrong. It has been very much repurposed, and dark as it is, these blank stone halls, there are still passageways that jut off in myriad directions, forking off into different wings every couple dozen feet. But it looks like it has been repurposed to be a multi-purpose facility for some of the background operations the Triad needs to run things like this. Being a prison is definitely part of that. but it's large enough that finding your target is going to be its own challenge here.
All right, get out that sandbox thing again.
Once a day.
It's only good once a day.
Oh, it's once a day. All right. I bet that magic.
Hold on.
I wonder if that magic thing works down here.
I know
wouldn't try it.
exactly what we need to do.
How many pathways are there?
A lot.
Like from where we currently are?
Oh, I mean, they fork numerous times. So from where you
So
are, it
it's like
seems like it makes
multiple
3
four ways.
primary directions.
We can take our time here. After all, the auction isn't for a while. Everyone's still socializing, and we have an hour to go before.
But
I'm
we
gonna
only.
get out a coin.
And heads we go left, tails we go right.
And it's gonna land on heads because I want it to.
Roll
And
me a survival trick. Finding direction.
well, I don't need to find direction. I'm
Any,
just going left.
it can be anybody.
Oh,
You
sure,
said right.
me.
Wait, what are
You
we
don't even
doing?
know what
You
you're
did say right.
24.
Oh, I actually,
I mean, it doesn't have to be you. Whoever like has decent survival wants to do it.
I got a.
I'm trained in survival. I have a 20.
I got a 35.
Do you want to do it? 24. So you flip the coin. You put it on heads. You lead the
Just
team
say
that
we're
way.
going right.
35 from Marshall.
Do you want to assist?
As you're
Sure.
poking around as well.
That's a 38.
The group of you come down through a wing that seems to be a simple storage area, and then a much larger stone room that's separated by a large wooden counter that runs almost the width of it. It has massive, almost black metal bars set both into and through this wooden counter. And behind it is an impressive quantity of goods. Most of them seem like they are fairly mundane, run-of-the-mill things, although some of the less savory sort, perhaps. But there are definitely some gems, some statues, some clearly magical items back there as well. But as you come to this corner as well, you would also, barely before they come into view, hear the conversation of at least 2 guards just inside the doorway.
So I'm going to point back at the hallway and skitter up onto the ceiling.
The hallways themselves are going to be like 7 foot around, rather. Strangely, again, squared.
Well, the point
Uh,
is,
but-
they're gonna look at my friends, who are about 15 feet behind or so. They're not gonna see me laying flat right above them.
It's fair.
Resume is going to look collapsed in your arms, and you're going to be holding her.
What is going on? What are you doing?
Shh. Drag me.
Drag you?
Act like you're dragging me.
I can just pick you up over my shoulder. I don't have to drag you.
That's fine too.
All right, whatever you want.
She just wants to be carried.
She's tired of walking.
And you carry her into the room.
I guess I'm not gonna pass True Sheik. I'm gonna look up at him and just.
And I'll just hold up a finger.
I'll just listen.
I want them to see you and not see me.
Yeah, but I don't know that.
That's why I'm telling you to stay there.
Okay.
So as you're listening, the 2 guards seem to be in a fairly... They're not making any attempt to hide their voice or anything. They seem to be in a discussion about a restaurant, debating whether or not it is worth patronage. One of them seems fairly convinced, like, no, look, you don't understand. It's not about the quality of the food, it's about the price. Where else are you going to find something of such value for a pair of coppers a lunch? I'm not claiming it's nothing gourmet or like they're serving upstairs. I'm saying it's cheap and it's good enough.
Well, now I feel.
Chinese buffet.
Is this you trying to sell
Then
CCs?
here's a-
So now,
You can never sell.
A response, you hear a woman's voice. You know what? I understand how ridiculous it is, though. Look, what? Do we have the same salary here? Well, of course I do. But the less I spend on food, the more I spend on nicer things. Drink and women and etc. She's just like,
got
but
a
you,
girlfriend.
look,
point.
I'm going to feel so bad for throwing these guys
You
into an
got-
alternate dimension.
you have more than enough money. You can find enough food. Like, you have been there, notice the difference between 2 coppers and 2 silvers? At least 1 silver, like, it's garbage. Look, you're gonna be drop dead at 40. Like,
You're just talking about CCs.
I know. I'm not arguing it's not, but
Why are you making me more?
It's
hungry?
delicious, and it's 2 copper pieces. Oh,
Conversation between you and Brent.
That they have literally had this conversation.
no, we're both the guy in this conversation. She does not dispute that at all. We're both trash. But what were you? Resume, you saying something?
Oh, so Resume's thrown over her shoulder and is kind of struggling a little.
Well, so like,
Stop squirming.
I
are
just
they
kind of
just
nod.
walking slow?
They stopped. They're just standing under you. You put up a finger and she stopped.
Okay. Okay, so they're standing under me and they haven't seen them yet.
No, they're around the corner. You can hear their voices, but
Okay,
like
fantastic. I'm gonna mark the male for death.
you can't see them unless you're going in the room.
I can't like peek at them.
I mean, the door leads into the room and it kind of winds around the hallway. They just sound like they're around, like their voices just kind of echoing off the stone wall inside.
Should we
Okay,
try
I
to
thought
walk
that they
past?
were
No, they're not
approaching
in
us.
clear view. You can just
Should we
hear
try
the
to walk
people in
past?
this room.
She'll say telepathically.
Telepathically, I'll say, "Give me just a moment," and I'm going to sneak past them.
Coming into the room further, you can see there's no other passageways that lead anywhere else from this vaulted chamber here.
Oh, I'll
Just-
immediately go back then. If I see no other exits leaving.
Nah, wrong. Head back the way you came. Wandering around this complex seems like you have plenty of time, but you don't know how long it could possibly take you to actually find these people. Does anybody want to make me a perception or a survival check?
Sure.
I'll make you a survival check.
You don't all have to do it, like,
But we all could
because
do
this
it.
is the what direction are you going? So like,
So
you can't all do it.
No,
because
wait.
then you're
Going
just
in a-
all arguing with each
We're
other.
So-
going in a 42.
That is not how the game works. You're not like, I rolled a 42, we're going my way.
Uh,
If you're all rolling, you're literally just arguing with
No,
each
no,
other.
no.
Nobody's
So-
going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
I have knowledge architecture.
Holy
from-
crap, you actually have knowledge architecture?
I do because
That
I'm
is
gonna.
specifically a thing that you can... Architecture lore is one of the things you can roll for this.
Yeah.
I literally didn't offer because
Wow.
I just assumed nobody had it.
I
Oh,
do
wow.
have it on
Wow.
my alternate, so I'm gonna spend a focus point and I'm gonna have knowledge architecture.
Holy crap, give me an architecture lore.
Well, okay then.
All right then. All right, fair enough.
Nobody expects.
I'll never make fun of you again. Weirdly suggested lores no one's gonna have.
An 18.
An 18. That's gonna be a 39.
The 39, thinking about what this is laid out, compared to the estate above,
I've been rolling like crazy.
especially
today.
if they're going to have a prison complex with very high value captives in it, it's going to make more sense to be centralized because they want to make it as inaccessible as possible. It's not actually going to be super far from the stairs because they're going to want it seated underneath the main bulk of the estate itself. That's what's going to be the most defensible position, and that's what's going to be the easiest to reinforce. You have the weight of an entire building holding it. And with that, you would lead around to another direction where you would find a couple of turns later something that looks much more akin to the prison you've been thrown in Kovler. A straight stone hallway, punctuated by iron barred doors on either side.
Resume is kind of like whispering this stuff to herself as she's walking. You guys have kind of gotten used to how weird she is when she's thinking about stuff. She's kind of saying some of it out loud.
Yeah.
And
Sounds legit. That's
as you come through, again, it's still all lit. It's just this strange ambient glow that's pervasive throughout the whole estate. You would see, in just literally the nearest cell you walk past, a trio of figures inside. One of which is a small, purple-haired gnome running kind of ragged. One of them is a middle-aged man with what looks like it's fairly normally a finely curated mustache, because half of it's still kind of curled and the other half is just kind of shot and frayed. And a woman, or a figure rather, who looks almost like a fish. In lieu of ears, there are a pair of spread kind of triangular fins on the side of their face, and much of her body that you can see is clad in bright green scales. All of them are clothed in simple rags that clearly have been provided for them. But they're kind of, all three of them just sort of deer in headlights as the group of you come around the corner here. Before the fish person speaks up. They're not a triad.
No. we're here to rescue you.
If you would like to be leaving, I have a bag of holding. If you would step inside, we can go.
Take it you haven't tried to draw anything out from that yet. I
I-
wouldn't while you're in here.
I have not, no. Although the diviner will be asleep in about 45 minutes or so.
Do you know of other countermeasures they might have had?
I only know all the hoopla they had to go to teleport us in here. I wouldn't mess with anything extra dimensional while you're in the place, so I hope you got a secondary plan. Sorry, who are you?
We are the escape plan.
Yes, I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh,
We're not the Triad, just as you saw.
are you are you the head of the jewelry thing? She'll look at the guy with the mustache.
Oh, what was it?
Ice killer.
Ice killer. You're ice
And
ice
he just
killer.
kind of sits back. Huh?
No, is this...
No, the almost merfolk-looking person. Pretty vibrant blue hair. No, that'd be me.
We would
Excavazu or Mild Ice Killer, whichever title you prefer.
Oh, perfect. They actually
Oh.
put you in the. Oh, it's so convenient. They
we
put him
were
right there.
told that she was like this.
We're
Oh.
in a cell with others. Like we thought, maybe they're all VIPs. Who are
No.
your companions?
So my assistants, they were taken with me.
Oh,
They're not
well,
there
we're
being auctioned here, but I suppose this is an introduction that we can handle later.
But anyway,
Yes.
yes,
So do
we're
you
not,
have a different plan to get out?
we're not Triad, and we're going to burn the whole place down. But it's a step-by-step process.
Look, honestly, at this point, not Triad's what I'm looking for.
Well, I just so do happen to have an idea. If we have the time, I can make them disguises.
well. Should we open the door first?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
not going
I'm
to
not
be a
going to
problem.
pretend I have any understanding of exactly what their plans are going on here, but
We're going to walk out the
and she
front
just kind
door.
of raises her arms, and you see that she's got pretty hefty manacles. Not the Scarlet Triad ones you've taken so far, but ones that cover almost her whole forearm on a very short, thick chain bolted to the floor next to her. I think there's a couple of steps before we get to that.
I have
Door
to
will be
say,
first, though.
your hair is quite beautiful.
Now's not the time, lass.
Usually, I've had an opportunity to do anything with it, and I've been tossed around like a rag doll for a week straight.
Does a 30 start on the door?
A 30 is actually going to fail. And as you start to work on it, well, look, if you can't get through the keyhole, looks like that lad there, or one of either of the two, you could just knock the thing down. Look,
Shall I?
Well, we want to be quiet. We want to leave as little evidence as possible.
I would make the entire bars disappear, but I don't want to use magic in here.
Magic is
Look,
not
I'm
a
going to
good
assume
idea.
you know what you're doing, but the guards will be back before too long.
I could just rip the lock off.
Well, give me 1 second.
That's better.
So that's a 40.
40 will succeed. And quietly unlatching that door. Oh, was that 15 seconds? That's pretty decent. The League of Peshmongers will be jealous of that. So, raise her arms up as high as she can.
I must say you're in spectacular good spirits considering your situation.
If I'm being frank with you, though my time as guildmaster of the Jewelers Guild, this ain't even the worst I've sat through. But sure, it's the first time I've been unlawfully imprisoned and attempted to be sold by a competing guild as a slave within my own city. But you know, the guild's seen worse times.
Actually,
you
you've
got
been
the-
lawfully sold. They had the paperwork all
You,
taken
you got
care
the
of.
cloak?
Them writing the paperwork doesn't make it lawful.
I do happen to
Don't
have
understand the law,
something that you might like.
And I would actually be wearing it, so I'd have to take it off. But the unmemorable mantle.
You got a cape?
Yes, it will make you
I
appear.
mean, I am quite distinctive, I suppose. It'll help.
No.
It's a magical thing. You will look as if you are not yourself.
I think that'll also definitely help.
And I'll cast Knock on the manacles with the skeleton key.
It's real.
Bonk. Okay.
So that becomes a 35.
With a 35, that's with knock.
Yep, I rolled a 5.
Yeah, you would be able to use knock to undo their manacles, and raising their hands as the manacles drop free from their forearms. Oh, Constance, man, that's much better. How about these lads here?
I'll do the other
I
one.
can only get Knock once, so I lose my +4, still 26. So 35 again.
35 will unlock your 2 assistants as well.
And go ahead, there's a third one.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
You
that's just the 2 assistants. You can,
Oh, fair
Um,
enough.
I'm not making you do a
Well,
check
I
for
was
people.
actually going to try to disguise them a bit while you're putting that on her.
This
We
guys takes 10 minutes, and we don't have that time.
I could shove one of them into my bag.
We can't
I've
use bags.
Oh.
They just said they can't, but we can't.
let's
shoot.
never mind.
see.
My bad.
We don't want to risk it. Well, here, because of the distinctiveness, I will give you this. It will only help you in pretending you are not yourself.
That's fair.
We do not have anything
That is
else.
exactly who I'd like to be right now.
We don't have anything for them. Do you think anyone upstairs
I only need a
will,
minute.
recognize them?
I've got tweak appearances.
Honestly, regardless, they're much less distinctive than I am. It'll probably be fine.
Are you sure?
If you got all the way down here, I believe in you. You know, my option is to sit here until they sell me off to some demon from the shadow plane. I put my faith in you. So you know what? Go team.
We need to
right.
leave them
I like
in
this
at least somewhat normal clothing.
Give me a minute. She'll pull some clothes just out of a normal bag that she brought with her because she was planning on having to disguise
So you
them.
had other disguises at the ready.
And then you'll see her go, and she'll kind of just start winding clothing around them, and you'll see her take out some makeup out of like her little bag, and she'll start doing some up. And then you'll actually see her take some powder and just quickly kind of disguise the color of their hair. And then you'll actually see her get out some clay and make one of their ears look different. And it'll take about 2 minutes.
Tweak appearances.
Tweak
is a hell of a
appearances
drug.
is a hell of a drug. It's actually crafting.
I won't lie, that's pretty damn impressive.
I am.
We're not just normal people going to burn down the entire Triad. We're
Honestly,
actually
I
pretty
don't
good at
think,
it.
No, you don't roll it till it becomes relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look,
Oh,
trust
interesting.
Me, I'm fully aware with the Triad's capable of have the displeasure of working with them for the better part of the decade.
All right.
And if the four of you have managed to get down here in their highest security they can muster, I don't doubt anything you're capable of.
Well, I will take the lead.
Okay.
I'll let you know if the coast is clear.
But hold on. What about the rest of me, man?
How many do you
more are
have?
there?
There are 9 of us.
Where
Nine
are
of
they?
you.
jeez.
I don't know.
Well, let's get you out of here first. You're the most important. We can come back for them in a minute. We have to
I
get you
have to
out.
say, if the guards come back and see that I'm missing, I can't imagine things are going to
We
fare well
have
for
to
the
get
rest
all
of
of them.
Where are they? Do you
them.
know?
I don't, not here.
Jeez.
Okay, doc.
I thought you guys had a plan.
That's complicated. Yeah, so to get
To
you
get
out.
you out.
We were only informed of one person. We can adjust the plan. It's
All right.
not a big
Let's
deal.
go.
I mean,
How much time has passed since you actually went and slipped some wine to that
not
diviner?
an hour.
No,
Not an hour.
Not long enough for
Probably
us
like
to be cast.
10, 15 minutes, maybe.
Well, look,
Oh, we
since
can
we're going to be
raid.
wondering about
another
you-
raid.
Hey.
Ooh, I'll call GM showing up for the
Howdy.
escape attempt here. Look, regardless, we can't stay here.
Here,
They had a guard on my door, and I don't know if he went to take a piss or what exactly is happening.
well, we can get some clothes
But you
together.
know,
We can roll them up
obviously,
into
I'm sure you've been
bundles.
keeping tabs on him.
She'll
We can roll
al-
them up into bundles and actually, like, I
she'll
believe they're
also,
arguing about restaurants.
She'll also kind of be in her head, all right, architecturally speaking, if this is here, then maybe there's a mirror on the other
And
side.
you just hear a voice in the hall, "Aye!" And you see like the worm of a face push in some bars. I'm here. Hello?
We'll head off that way.
Oh, that's easy.
And the other cell is down the hallway. Who would have thought?
No, lead the way, heroes. And you know
Oh, see, she's got it.
you do know what you're doing, right?
Of course. We're the heroes of Breach Hill.
know
I mean,
how
most of the
to,
time.
break and enter.
Fair enough. So it looks like you're going to need to simply get through another door and set of chains to be able to free much of the rest of them that are just kind of scattered throughout the cells here. So I'm going to need another doors opened.
33.
3 is gonna fail.
That's fine.
Try it again.
Is there a key
38.
hanging at a guard station by the end of the hall, perhaps?
There's
Because
not.
while
I'm
they're
having-
working on that, I can
I'm
just
having
look.
fun.
There is not. After a little bit, Trishik managed to get one open. Were you trying the other one?
I can.
Might as well.
Multitasking. You also have the.
This is like
I mean, I could open a door too.
It's great value.
We're not gonna do that. I'm gonna hand you this here hero point. And
Remember, the only thing for critically failing is you break your tools.
I don't want to break my tools.
It's the only set she's got.
We need those.
I
I
have a
don't
spare.
need tools.
I have an entire spare expert infiltrator.
That's much better.
kit.
That's
Why?
gonna be
Because of
a 37.
37 will succeed.
So, can I get one of those scrolls you had in your pocket?
So the two of you.
Take it. Marshall, go to town, cast silence on him.
as
More like
cast out from this spell. Give me an athletics check, Marshall.
that's a 19.
That's a 19 on the
I
die.
don't need to know what the total is. You destroy the door and the entire wall it was attached to.
If you want to know a number,
Silently crashes
if you want to know a
inwards.
number, it's 46.
He hits it so hard it actually destroys enough to open 2 of the cells simultaneously.
I'm just gonna.
Because a critical success counts as 2. So
I'm just gonna Kool-Aid
machine
man
gun
it.
board. It lands on the manacles and it also
breaks them.
destroys the chains and frees them. But after another few moments here,
Marshall approved.
the group of you have much of the team with you, but your group has swelled from 4 to 13. You are now kind of escorting a gaggle of assorted jewelers
This is gonna get complicated.
who are in
I mean,
Not really.
decently good
It went our
health,
way.
but
It's like a minute.
oh,
don't appear to be really great at this whole thing and are kind of all just sort of eyeing you now or looking to their guildmaster. As Ice Killer's just kind of standing there. All right, so I
Anybody
can talk again now.
anybody have a thing they can put me on where I can look like I'm a noble woman and you guys are all carrying me?
What?
Just saying, if I can get carried out of here and look really good doing it, that
Just
could get
wants
us
to be
out.
carried. Once again, Resume just wants to be carried.
no.
Don't know what you're talking about. Look, let's go ahead and see if we can make our way toward the back of the area.
Well, I.
Ooh, is
could
there a back?
take-
Could there be a back way out of
No,
here?
Of course there
I
is.
can take them out a couple at a time.
I don't think we have time.
Of course we do. We have the entire evening.
From what I've gathered of the building, do I think there might be a back way out of here? If they wanted to get out, like if there was a fire, they would need a way to get out.
Again, this
Their
basement
fire
is a
code
large area.
insists.
It would connect to a matching doorway on the other side that would lead up to the other servants' passage.
All right.
As well as there are probably several other ways that would lead back up as well. There, you saw at least like 3 or 4 basement access points.
Let's try to go out the exact opposite way so we're not going to run into anything we've run into before.
So as you kind of lead the troops through the area here, somebody make me a perception check for a second.
I guess I'll be taking.
Yeah,
you're
definitely
definitely
you.
leading.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can literally walkie-talkie a heads up.
Yeah.
28. We'll do 2.
28. As you're looking around,
Stop doing that.
you're able to navigate
Okay.
your way back across. It's mirrored enough that you can find your way to a staircase that will lead up on the other side. And as your whole group kind of files around down this hallway, the passage that you find is sort of a straight line. There's not a lot of... You're not going past a bunch of offsuits, which is minimizing your exposure to potential guards, so that's probably cool. But you hear the door at the top of the staircase open. And what sound like numerous footsteps coming down the stairs. And in the time it would take you to turn around and try to shepherd a group of 13 people, most of which are not the heroes of Breachall, the other direction, you hear a voice on the other side of the lead-backed door at the base of the stairs. A voice that you would definitely recognize as Jellic. And as you hear keys moving and see something behind the door, you hear him say, "And I assure you, the utmost security has been taken."
Well-
and
I want to lock the door back. Make him think he has the wrong key.
Are we like kind of on top of the door? Like there's no.
Like,
getting-
I
you
gotta-
are like filtered into the room
Yeah,
on
like,
the backside.
I'm
movable
trying
rod.
to buy.
A movable rod!
I'm trying to,
There it is.
yeah, I'm trying to buy time for them to get out of the room. So I'm gonna lock the door. You're gonna immovable
You
rod.
put the immovable rod up and you hear him, and as you will, for a moment, as you will see on the backside here, what we have in place to ensure
We're going to go past.
Gets everyone under cover.
that our, you see our security is so tight that it's difficult for me even with the key. And you hear the door kind of thumping and it's like just straining again, not really thumping because you put the immovable rod up against it, so you hear it kind of like thumping and it's straining,
A little
kind
bit of
straining against the
grinding.
immovable rod. It's like, okay.
I didn't flip.
Can I lock the door?
Who
Yes.
can lock the door?
Well, that's a 40.
To do what? Then turn the lock back?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm disabled or not. You're thievery.
Oh wait, does it actually just have like a switch on the other side
I
that
guess
you use
it
to lock the
wouldn't. No,
door?
he would just be jamming it from this side. You'd see this is also set up with the same massive, intricate, explosive trap here. Apologies, Miss Osis and Lord Vind. The rest of you, again, there's just no cause for concern. These are simply contingencies we have in place for these doors.
Can we usher the prisoners into a
Yeah,
side
we're-
passage
into a
while
side
this is
passage.
happening?
I must. The fault is all mine. I may have placed the key wrong here. And in any situation where it is
So-
accessed improperly, the door will seal itself to ensure that there is.
Wait, so after everybody's out of sight, I'm gonna go back and remove the immovable rod.
And he would have given up at this point. Like he's not trying the door anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And
This door sucks.
you
We're
kind
going to
of
another door.
shepherd the guys back into the hallway here, and hear the voices receding. It's like it is no problem. There are several other entrances we can use to explore the complex. So you
Well,
can
then
see them.
Let's do it. Awesome.
Cool.
That worked
It
out.
is supposed to take 3 successes to get through, but I think a movable rod the door probably. They can kind of win at that point. They're like,
he's
GG,
trying
idiot.
to-
It's a good job making a lead line door, dingus. Now you can't get through it.
He's trying to put on a good show. He doesn't want to force it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's other doors. He's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's jammed. We'll just go around to the other side. Security measure must have been tripped. He's putting on airs.
He's doing good.
Yeah, he's the man.
And as you, Trishik, go to check this and open just to check if the coast is clear, you can see that as they left, he has actually posted a guard just standing at the top of the stairs, and he is talking just out of view to one of the mages. It seems like it may be almost impossible to go this way at this point.
Let's go someplace else.
You are gonna need something fancy or another way out.
I've got something pretty fancy.
Oh no.
We haven't.
The door opens. They're gonna investigate why it suddenly opened because he's down there messing with it. It's jammed or whatever. Now the door's like creak. They're gonna come and look, and we just pull them in there and do what we have to do.
I was about to say you're pulling a Gengar, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, make me a deception.
Look at ghost sounds.
It's an 18.
So you have
44.
13 people gathered in here.
Oh, we put him
On
inside.
the door.
side
On the
here.
other side, 9 in a side hallway, and the 4 of you standing around. You open the door. It just kind of creaks open. And you
And we're just like
hear
off
some
to the side.
surprise for a moment before you hear a set of footsteps coming down the stairs. And as the guard comes into the room,
Do we have another silence?
make me an athletics check. Marshall.
That's going to be a 38.
Marshall was the silence.
So as
So as
he
he's
gets
coming in.
yanked in, I'm closing the door.
I'm just grab
not
him
not
up.
aggressively, because this is going well. So I'm just like,
And you hear kind of downstairs, well, fine. If it works, I'll go tell Jalek myself. Whatever. And you hear him leave.
Just gently put him down.
stealth mission.
This is the best.
And the group of you make your way up the no longer guarded staircase into the servants' quarters in the mirror inside here. With the unmemorable mantle, Milk is completely indistinguishable, not even clearly an Undine anymore, looking almost as a human. Rez, out in the entryway in the garden, just kind of playing, would see emerging from the main chamber your 4 friends and like 9 other people you don't recognize.
What Raz
That
is gonna
huge
hear?
gaggle.
What Raz is gonna hear?
Just walking out the front door.
Raz is gonna hear a story about how when 2 brave heroes were stuck in a tower. Because I'm using double speak and I'm pretending like I'm just talking to a couple of people as we walk out the front door. How there was a lovely swashbuckler who put on a display, letting the 2 daring do's escape, and the dazzling or the
The dumbest
doublespeak-
possible end of this heist, and I
yeah,
love it.
the double speak is telling Raz, make a distraction.
Raz is going to cast Visions of Danger straight up in the sky.
That works.
That is
He's
indeed
a distraction.
I mean,
As you cast blue energy emanating around your hand and just kind of winding up into the sky to illuminate what?
It's basically there's going to be scintillating colors of fire. It's kind of like almost like a makeshift firework of magic, up where it's not going to harm anyone, but make
Is
it very
this
distressing.
terrifying, or is this like, ooh, pretty
But don't touch it.
fireworks?
It's fire.
All illuminated by this blue glow. and you'd get some people gathering around. You get some guards coming and be like, "What the heck?" And
We're gonna go behind the guards as they're oohing and eyeing.
very much be a large focal point taking the gaze away from the group of you.
We had
as
roughly
you
15 minutes before we were told on,
head down
and we made it.
to the gates and out into Katapesh. This is the dumbest end of this I could possibly imagine, and I would want nothing less.
That was good.
Because we're heroes.
We got to Gengar somebody. We didn't kill anyone.
I mean,
and
we could have.
we could have.
Well, we could have murdered so many people.
But we're the good
we're heroes.
guys.
We're the good guys.
Aren't you proud? I behaved.
With
Oh, I'm so proud of you,
Killer,
Marsha. You did so well.
Here, the guildmaster of the Jewelers Guild safely extricated from the Scarlet Triad's clutches. You're pretty confident you've got at least one guild that'll probably support you with your council.
Come on, we're good, right? We're good, Ice Killer.
Next
I
week,
got to slumber wine somebody too.
there's the other 14 of them or whatever.
Easy.
Doesn't matter.
One.
We got the most important one. You got
Little
jewelry.
over. Makes up for the power outage. Balanced it. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's going to be it for us today. YouTube.com/2perception has got the entire adventure so far, as well as a great list of some shenanigans highlights. We'll be back next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Same time, same place, same Katapesh. New friend.
New friend.
Aw,
Up to her
yeah.
gills in trouble.
You guys are the best. Good night.
We're the worst.
Good night.
You guys are the actual worst.
We're the actual worst.